Hello. I just finished eating. I was a little worried I wasn't gonna make it in time. Hello. I'm here. Man, I don't have any expectations. We're gonna have interval of 3. Could we do this in one stream? Is the big question. Honestly, I feel like anything after Canto 5 is gonna be kind of a letdown, you know? So I'm preparing that it's just it's gonna be a chill time. We're not gonna do anything crazy, you know? Easily? Okay. Hello. Okay, so I did not upload the stuff yet. Nor did I record it. I really want to make more Limbus content, but it'll take a second. I don't know. We'll see if I can get a Canto 5 kind of review thing sometime next week. But I don't know. No promises, okay? I don't want to promise stuff that I don't know if I'll be able to do. Hello. Okay, we'll see the plan for today. We'll see if the mini plus interval of 3 is gonna be, you know, long enough for the, you know, at least 2 hours. At least 2 hours. And then maybe if we have a lot of time left, we can do more than that, but Library of Ruina, Limbus, but just worse. That's my worry with Library of Ruina. People have recommended me playing Library of Ruina, and I think about it, and I'm like, it kind of looks like Limbus gameplay, but because it's the prior game, I wonder if it's not as polished or something. I don't know. From that perspective, I'm actually more open to trying Lobotomy Corporation as a game. No win rate? What's the point? Okay. A notable change. Miracle in District 20. Okay, so we don't move. I think, wait, hold on. Yeah, for this intervalo and minis, we already we're moving, but here we just kind of stay in the same place. That's a lot. We're in U-Corp for all of this. Huh? Excuse me. Okay. A notable change. You know how much I look forward to these every week? I actually love the Limbus streams. It's really fun. It feels like it's a chill time. And it's just a good game. I like this, I don't know. GG. True. Save me from fast torture or prolong it? It's been a long while since I was able to relax like this, all alone in my room with not a concern in my mind. Maybe it's because a heavy burden had been lifted from my heart. I told the sinners that we should take a day off or so in our respective rooms after what happened. We deserved a good rest. A big part of that decision was also to relieve Yisang of his seasickness at least for a day. I don't think the center's rooms sway with the waves. We're still a ways away from getting out of the Great Lake. I thought it would be a good idea to have a day like this where we could just sit and relax. Of course, this wasn't like a real vacation or anything. If anything were to happen, this little time off would be over just like that. Like that eardrum-tearing siren of Mephistopheles that always finds the worst times to go off, for example. Oh. Yeah. I had a feeling that something like this was going to happen. I'm not even upset at this point. The siren better be worth getting off our bums for. There was naught to do in our respective chambers anyway, Heathcliff. Imagine. I imagine that the time spent alone in my room must have been quite dreary indeed. In thy room. I can be a contemplative man from time to time, alright? For truth? It's like a medieval furry. One clock turning coming right up. This'll be the last one in a while, so just take one for the team, right? Is she going to ask Vergilius for permission too? Bollocks. I think I'm starting to get a handle of how to manage Heathcliff. Good news, Heathcliff. This volatility alarm seems to be something we can make use of. A notable change has occurred in one of the mirror dungeon doors. Dante, the short downtime you suggested. Yeah, I know. I knew something like this was going to happen anyway. Then let us investigate the area where the volatility was detected. There's something odd about the way Faust and Vergilius were looking at me, but I was too busy to worry about the two of them. I had to somehow convince the sinners, who had their long-awaited proper break taken away from them as soon as it started to get to work. Another locked door has opened. The keep out tapes have also disappeared. The door looks a bit bluish this time, doesn't it? Where did the other doors go? I don't think they were blue like this. The door did look a bit blue this time. Looks like every new mirror dungeon door will have a different design. And disappear from time to time, I guess. I can hear rolling waves from the other side, I think. It's a bit funny to play like timed content when they try to give it explanations in the actual story. That's clearly the mirror dungeon from like seasons and seasons ago, right? According to the information relayed to us via the device, it appears that the official designation for this new area, summoned by the backdoor volatility, will be Mirror of the Lake. Ishmael's eyebrows twitched. This is exactly what happened after we wrapped up Yisang's business. It seems too convenient to call it a coincidence, doesn't it? It's like these areas are tailor-made for each sinner's spouse. Mephistopheles' engine is designed to change and adapt every time a golden bow is retrieved. And the back door is also a product of the engine. It would not be a reach to theorize that the incidents with each sinner would affect the engine, which in turn influences the contents of the back door. In other words, it's pretty much a guarantee that with each golden bow retrieval, we'll be getting a new zone from now on. Quite likely, yes. Okay, yeah. Thanks for the explanation. Ishmael's willingness to sharply and boldly question all things suspicious did not change at all, but... Or maybe she just didn't like the fact that the word lake was even brought up. After the events of the Great Lake, maybe she was starting to take care not to be as blunt and scathing towards her fellow sinners. Not more than necessary, anyway. That's good. I'm relieved. I don't think this is Walpurgis. Right? That was last time. Or how often do they happen? They don't happen like for every Do they happen like once per season or something? This raises another question. Do ask. Are the golden bows not immediately shipped to the headquarters by the after team as soon as we retrieve them? How can they affect the engines if they're not here? The answer to that question requires a rather lengthy explanation. I care not. Wait, Otis, how about we try to wrap this up as quickly as we can? We better get to some place that's not constantly swaying. He-Sang's really not having a good time out here. I did not take my medicine, for I assumed that we would be having a brief respite. I beg your forgiveness. Meant to happen every 3 months. But there's just scheduling issues, it never works out that way. RIP. Oh my god, they're just like me. I'll hear just a summary then. Once the golden bow is retrieved, and when Limbus Company headquarters goes through a certain tuning process, Mephistopheles' engine and the golden bow's wavelengths will overlap, causing a resonance effect, which is a process that involves resonating with the golden bow in your head as well, manager. That's how it works? Does that process not harm the executive manager? Nope, as you have witnessed it yourself. So once it is retrieved, the golden bow continues to affect those it resonated with. I see. Guys, are we done with the boring lectures? EWTL. Fastest dungeon. We have to enter it now, don't we? Felt like I was going back on my promise after telling everyone that we could relax. I didn't like this one bit, but I think I already knew what Faust was going to say. Faust suggests that we explore the new zone as soon as we are able. Mephistopheles is still at a significant distance from the shores, and there are not many activities to do before reaching our next destination. This will be an appropriate exercise for us during this empty period. Executive Manager, I understand that you may feel uncomfortable going against your earlier orders, but consider the fact that this journey will continue on for quite some time. I believe that the resources and combat experience that can be gained from this new area would be quite considerable. Okay. I nodded affirmatively. The sinners each began grumbling and aired their woes, but they still prepared to head into the dungeons once again. Yup. Okay. Fair enough. Are there gonna be like other minis? Because so far, I think... Oh no, actually. I was gonna say like all the minis have been gameplay mechanic related, but that's not entirely true. We had some like mild stuff about, you know, some other things. It was only like the last few that are about the dungeons and Walpurgis and all that. Intervalo 3. Clear 648 to unlock the hard mode. What? Wait, was that the case previously? Surely not. I don't think I saw that. Yeah, this is new. Okay. Does the hard mode actually give like more rewards or something? Or like... Does it do anything? Okay. Is it more lunacy or is it just like EXP or... Oh, okay. So you just get to do it twice. That's actually really good. All right, cool. Tedium. That's not a good start. But, okay. Let's do some tedium, I guess. I feel like I'm kind of on point with reading today. Huh? Started only like one time. As our voyage on the Great Lake extends, the list of things that keeps the sinners entertained grows ever smaller. In a way, it sounds like a serious problem, but... Guys, anybody got any fun stories to tell? No, for the 30th time. I suppose repeating the exact same phrase that many times is a talent, if it could even be called that. If you're having trouble recalling what you said moments ago, should have repeated that phrase 28 times to be precise. At 30, I was planning to verify if she had suffered any damages to her occipital region.
안다고 알아. 얼마나 지루하면 내가 이러겠어.
I get it. I'm just that bored, okay?
할게 없으니까
There's nothing to
이러지.
do anymore. I'm tired of playing the same game of backgammon again and again. Good. I've got a job for you then. How about you start feeding the seagull on time for once? Seagull? Somehow it became my responsibility after all of you got tired of taking care of it.
그러게. 어차피 호수를 벗어나면 원래 살던 곳으로
Yeah,
돌려보낼
we're gonna have to let the seagull go once we're out of the Great Lake anyway. Why'd you even let yourself get attached to it? Look at her. The way she looks at you. Those woeful eyes.
그냥 갈매기의 눈빛인데요.
What, your average seagull eyes? No soul. No soul. Birds are so cool, actually. I think I recently discovered my love for birds. I'm not quite like unk enough to start bird watching, but birds are cool. Haven't tasted any? Not in that way. They're not. Come on, man. It was abundantly clear that the sinners were starting to slowly expire from sheer boredom. Well, it's not really a problem that has a solution, and I had zero interesting stories to tell considering that I'm an amnesiac, so all I could do was sit there and watch the sinners suffer. Putting them through the daily trials of the mirror dungeons wasn't the most exciting activity either. Oh my god, it's so meta. It's so meta. Speaking of which, Heathcliff appears to be the one least affected by this mess. Well, not that he was all calm and aloof, that is. I'd say he's anxious. Vergilius? A frosty silence descended upon the sinners, and the source of that frost was the inexplicable event that played out before their eyes. Heathcliff, have you gone insane? Did you finally snap?
연담의 부작용인가?
This must be the side effect of the consultations. Maybe we can call this sense of self-preservation loss syndrome or something like that. Heathcliff, shut your traps. I ain't mad, and my sense of self-preservation is just fine. Impressive, Heathcliff. I rarely found myself surprised in this series of misadventures so far, but this is one of those rare occasions. Speak. What is your business? It's the, our next destination is T-Corp, innit? Do you really need me to answer that? You know what I'm talking about. Patience, Heathcliff? Though that seems to be a virtue that most of you lack. If everything goes according to the flow, you'll make it to your appointment on time. Since I had no context for any of that, all I could do was sit there and watch as Heathcliff scratched the back of his head. I'm still out of the loop, but Heathcliff must be really anxious about something if he's willing to talk to Vergilius first. And after all that... It's not... What else could possibly be more important than the important... Wait. Heathcliff turned around to face us. Any of you. You got any history with T-Corp? Show of hands, now? I have, in a way. I resided in that place once. Right, but we already did you, didn't we? Then, yeah. Soon it'll be... But we're still in the middle of this mad lake. What's today's date? How'd I know? Can't you
시계
tell
달고
the
있는데
date?
왜 날짜를
You have a clock for a head. But clocks and calendars are completely different things.
아우 히스 한숨만 벌써 30번째야. 버스 바닥
That was
좀
your
확인해봐. 쟤
30th
때문에
side
울고
today.
패였을 것
Keep doing
같으니까.
that and you just might huff and puff our boat to pieces.
말해요, 히스클리프. 그쪽이
Tell us,
차례 보는
Heathcliff.
거죠?
Your turn's coming up, isn't it?
무엇이 됐든
And whatever
준비가
it
필요한
is that
거군.
awaits you there, you're going to have to prepare yourself for it.
이
I
정도면 뭐
suppose there's no use hiding it anymore.
그러니까 요약하자면
Right. So to summarize,
아무래도
Heathcliff's starting to
다음은
feel like his
히스클리프
turn's coming
차례인 것
up
같고,
now that Ishmael has had her time in the ringer.
그 근거가
And he's
될
got good reason to
만한
believe that
물건을
because
적어온
Virgilius
면담 때
handed him
베르길리우스에게
something
전달받았고,
in their last consultation that affirmed his suspicions.
그 물건에 의하면 T사에 갈 때
And according to that
멋지게
something,
옷이나
he'll
꾸미는
need
작업이
some fancy
필요한데
clothes and whatnot to refine his looks before we get to T-Corp.
계속 호수에 떠 있으니까 마음이
But since we're
초조해져서
still so far from
대체
escaping the
어떻게 해야
lake,
할지
you're starting to feel
모르겠다는
restless. Is that right?
그래 그러니까
Right on. So,
네.
yeah,
그건 뭐
so
육지에 내리거나
there's
해야
not much you
해결할 수
can
있는
do
일
about that before we hit solid ground, is there?
아유 뭘 그런 걸 가지고 얼을 타고 있어.
Come on, that's it?
히스.
Don't you worry. I can definitely help you with that as soon as we find land, okay?
애초에 육지에 언제 내릴
We
줄
don't even know how far away from land we are. Dante, we've reached the end of the scheduled work period for sinners. Oh, yeah. I hereby confirm today's close of business for the sinners. I reflexively said my usual routine piece as the light alarm played. Man, that wasn't even a big deal then. I was hoping to see an act of dramatic bloodshed for once.
뭐
Well,
대드는 게
at least he
아니었다는
wasn't trying to
건
stir up trouble for once. The sinners each got up from their seats, yawned and stretched, and one by one disappeared into the back door.
시계 대가리에
Blockhead, didn't know they knocked your wits off along with your head. Gregor isn't completely wrong, is he?
아리라도 좀. 아,
Crestfallen. I like the word crestfallen. Oh my god. Wait. There was another. Heathcliff Kuhn?
히스클리프군.
Is that Kuhn? This isn't Korean. Am I hearing things?
넌 왜 여기 남아 있냐?
What are you doing out here, girl? Run along, you go gush about the high and mighty fixers of T-Corp or something.
그런 거야. 나중에 해도 충분하오. 그보다 히스클리프군. 내게
She
잘
says
보이는 것이
Heathcliff
좋을 거요.
Kuhn. I shall have plenty of time for that later. Yet thou shall do well to treat me well, Sir Heathcliff.
이게 뭐라고?
잠시만.
Hold, allow me to finish. Manager Esquire, Sir Heathcliff. Come hither. Hush, hush. When Canto wore a confident smile, she slowly, gingerly walked over to presently and temporarily vacant Karen's seat and whispered ever so silently to us, "Forsooth, I have devised a splendid plan for thee." Dum, 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 dum. So what is this plan?
하는 건 뭐냐?
Splendid's plan. What is this splendid's plan of yours? I don't think there were words in this world expressive enough to describe that look on Heathcliff's face. It was certain that he had very scant expectations for Don Quixote and her plans, but there was this sliver of hope in his face that maybe, just maybe, Don Quixote might rise to the occasion for once. It was unclear whether Heathcliff's internal struggle mattered much to Don Quixote. However, she began excitedly describing her plan.
히스클리프군.
Didst thou, Heathcliff, ever hear a tale of the ancient and legendary fixer of Deviat Association? The Red Sack? What? Okay, so we got the red eyes, right? What could it possibly mean that his name is the Red Sack? What could it possibly be referring to? Santa Claus?
붉은
Surely.
뭐
The red what? Like Vergilius?
붉은 주머니는
It is said that the legendary Red Sack carried out his deliveries no matter how terrible the terrain or how adventurous the journey to all corners of the city, and with him, yeah.
크리스마스엔 어떤 대가도 받지 않고 진짜 착한 아이들에게 선물을 나누어 줬다고 하지.
Forsooth, his magnificence has given away gratuitous gifts for children of the city that he deemed to be kind. It is but common knowledge, Sir Heathcliff. He appeareth on the front cover of the Fixer's Monthly every winter. Yeah, I wonder. Don Quixote asked, sounding genuinely shocked to learn that Heathcliff did not know of this Red Sack.
내가 그런 걸 왜 보냐?
What makes you think I'd ever read rags like that?
그런 거라니. 관리자 나리.
Fie to thee, rags thou sayest, Manager Esquire, surely thou hast heard of this magnificent publication? I knocked on my ticking clock head. I didn't really feel the need to spell it out for her. So, none of thee has subscribed to it then. Mine words fell on deaf ears. Anyhow, what matters to thee, Sir Heathcliff, is that thou endeavoureth to make thyself more presentable than anyone else for this occasion, is it not?
이제야 이야기가 본론으로
Finally getting to the point. Go on. Marry, good sir. A costume most befitting that occasion would be those of the Red Sack and his sidekick, a reindeer man.
느낌 싸한데.
This isn't going to end well, is it?
석양의
What, like those ridiculous fixers? They'll turn the whatever?
전혀 괴상하지 않네.
It's not ridiculous. Why thou hast not even designed. Oh my god.
제대로 입어보지도 않고.
This character, oh my god. Every time she's on screen, she gives me a headache because she yells every line, and every single time that I have to say Don Quixote lines back to back to back, it like ruins my brain. I can't do it, man. It's too hard. It's actually too hard. I can't like. Concentrate. Thou hast not even deigned to indulge mine only wish that we would cosplay. She says cosplay. Fixers del atardicere ardiente together. Thou hast not even given it a chance indeed. Speak not on a matter thou knowest not about. Okay.
되게 거들먹거리길래 혹시나 했는데.
With all the talk of a splendid plan, I thought you were actually going somewhere, but it all comes around to that fixer nonsense again, eh? Don't even have the energy to beat the sense into you. I'll do it. I'll get to it later. 5 honest hits to the noggin should do it. When the sliver of hope on Heathcliff's face was beginning to rapidly fade. Prithee, share thy thoughts of the fixers that we have laid our eyes upon thus far. What? Embarrassing, were they? Remember, were they not fancy and impeccably dressed? Close not thy eyes and heart, speak. Absolutely embarrassing sods, yeah. That spandex bloke from K-Corp looked like he leaped right out of a circus.
아니, 지금 브리트 씨는 우습지 않소. 그 코스튬 멋있댔어. 그 소재에 대해 말하자면.
Okay. Lord Siegfried was not embarrassing. I say this that his outfit was rather dashing. Wouldst thou not agree? Allow me to regale thee with information concerning the materials of its fabric, so that thy understanding.
실례했어. 에이? 돌아오시오, 히스클리프군.
Why is the girl so hyper today? Well, Lord Siegfried is a special outlier, mayhaps. But dost thou not agree that most fixers are all rather well dressed and wore honor upon their sleeves?
보기?
Honor upon their...
그건 잘
What?
모르겠고
I don't know about that, but I suppose they were
그럴싸하고
quite
사람도
posh.
있었던 것
Verily, follow thee, I and thou shalt see thyself dressed as impeccably and impressively as the fixers are.
그런가?
That right?
아이, 젠장.
I thought it. I know shite all about clothes and making myself look fancy. Alright, so let's say I go along with your plan. Where are we going to get them clothes? Honestly, everyone was right. Where are we even going to pick up clothes in the middle of a lake?
본인이 다 그것까지
Yet I have thought of that as well.
생각하는
Recall the events of yesterday, the sirens that echoed across the bus. Dost thou remember? Now that I think about it, there was a siren yesterday. It went off not long before I announced the close of business for the day. How the hell are we gonna fight anybody in this intervallo? Genuinely, who the hell are we gonna be fighting? If not, I guess the mermaids or something. But Faust said that backdoor volatility wasn't anything for us to worry
본인은
about.
궁금했네.
Yet I was curious. How indeed doth Faust determine which volatility is useful and which is not?
다들 뒷문으로
Thus,
들어가려
as
소란스러운데
all were crowded by the back door, preoccupied with returning to their respective quarters.
조심스럽고도 은밀히
I have secretly and stealthily availed myself the chance to take a glance at the screen.
그 복잡한 기호들을
Dost thou know?
네가 알아먹을 수 있다고?
You know how to read those complex symbols?
본인도 알았지.
Nay, I myself had little hope of recognizing them, yet when I looked into them,
거기에 있었던 문양은
amongst the symbols on that device were a pair of rather peculiar symbols I could very easily tell apart from the others.
붉은
forsooth,
주머니와 사슴맨의
'Twere
상징.
symbols of the red sack and the reindeer man,
의미하는 문양이
and next to them was a
있었었겠지.
symbol indicating posh outfits. We're gonna go into the fucking mirror dungeon shit and fight Santa Claus? Question mark?
그렇게 간단할 리가.
It can't be that simple. Yeah, no, it can't be that simple. I agreed with Heathcliff. However, Don Quixote remained enthusiastic as ever, as though she was already expecting him to say that.
알고 있는가?
Dost thou know?
뒷문 안에 있는 무수한 문들에는
Every so
문양이
often.
종종 나타난다는 것을.
Dost thou know? Okay. Every so often, certain symbols appear on the numerous doors past the back door.
쉬러 갈
Every
때마다
respite,
지나칠
every
때마다
passing glance, I made sure to watch them carefully.
그리고 바로
And
어제
'twas yesterday,
그 화면에 나타났던
when,
문양과
in the corridor, I
완전히
spied
같은
myself the exact
것이
door with the exact same symbol that I witnessed on the screen.
미안하네.
'Tis my nature as an adventurer, Manager Esquire. Mine inability to quell the burning adventurous spirit, I prostrate before thee.
하지만
Know that I have taken the sneakiest of peeks. Mary, 'twas not too foolhardy. I have only taken a small peek.
본인의 모든 추리와
And if I were to
추측이
regale
맞아
thee
떨어졌다는 말을
that
듣는다면
what I witnessed from within, she keeps yapping. That all my deductions and predictions have been proven true.
정상 참작을
Could thee find within thyself compassion to spare mine soul?
이 새끼는 하지 말라는
You
걸 왜 자꾸
absolute
하는
muppet.
거야?
Why in the bloody hell do you keep doing what everyone tells you not to? Oppositional defiant disorder? Right, Heathcliff. I just don't understand why some people keep doing things that everyone tells them not to. I remember when Heathcliff ignored all warnings and went into the restricted areas past the area of the corridor that we're allowed to use. We almost lost Heathcliff that day. It was a tad different this time, however. Back then, Heathcliff had no idea what was beyond that door, and this time, we do. Are you suggesting that we call everyone over to explore that place?
우리
Nay,
스스로
the three of us will be more than sufficient to handle this
셋이는
task.
다
All tales
경험하는
begin with a party of three,
모든
indeed.
이야기.
You're just scared of the consultation, aren't you?
무슨 소린지
I have
모르겠군.
nay a clue as to what thou mayest be referring to. The answer to this predicament was right there. Tell them that it's too dangerous and shove them back in their respective rooms to rest up for tomorrow.
아니잖아리. 그
Manager Esquire, that zone, indeed, it appeared to be a place most peaceful to mine eyes.
우리는 그저
It's a simple task, is it not? All that we seek to do is to enter there and avail ourselves of a few sets of clothes for Heathcliff. I like her crying sprite. It was obvious that Don Quixote wasn't helping Heathcliff out of pure kindness of her heart. Maybe she hungered for an adventure, or maybe she thought she might be able to do that cosplay of the fixers she so admired. But if we can find Heathcliff some nice clothes to put his heart at ease, then maybe I can do something about this before things get out of control, like it did last time when I just let a sinner's anxiety stew and exacerbate. Fine, but we're turning around at the first sign of danger.
진심으로 하는 말이냐?
Seriously? Come on, you were willing to do it if it meant that you could pick up some clothes.
뭐
I suppose we'll be okay as long as Clock heads with us. Well said.
잘 결정했어.
Then, let us reconvene tonight before Manager Esquire's headquarters. We shall knock in the following rhythm. Knock, 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 knock.
나리께서는 아무런
Then thou shalt whisper a secret code, to which then I...
들어가라.
Just go get some sleep. I really hope this won't be a waste of time. We agreed on a precise time before returning to our respective rooms. Okay, prediction, they're gonna get caught and everybody's gonna be involved. And that's how we're able to actually pick sinners instead of just going in with Heathcliff and Don Quixote and nobody else. There's no shot that we actually fight with this little people. Right? Huh. Alright, well... What do I know? Okay. I don't have anybody. I don't have a... What do you mean? No. I don't have anyone. I have no one. I have no... Like... I have this version of Don Quixote and that's it. I only have 2 identities? Really? I suppose this is the best I got, but
그래.
I'm not gonna lose though. I'll be fine.
시간 됐네.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Trust. A dark, silent night. All are sound asleep. Thus we assemble.
가서 별거
This better be worth the trouble.
한치의 거짓도 없다네.
It shall be worth every trouble, of course. Now, come hither. Quietly and sneakily followed Don Quixote, taking care to not make a noise. Are we really crossing this line? Bloody hell, lass. Don't you know what happened the last time I crossed it?
본인은 다르네.
Alas, it will be different this time.
이선 너머
All we must do is follow the corridor immediately to the right of this
있는 문을 열기만 하게.
delineation and open the door there. But these are symbols she was talking about. Past the door, through the window, the symbols Don Quixote mentioned shimmered. Symbols that seemed to indicate a sack, a wrapped present, and what appeared to represent a fancy clothes. So they're the red sack and the reindeer man symbols.
그렇네.
Precisely. Right, I suppose you're the expert with these
이
things.
녀석이 이런 걸
I'm
헷갈려.
going in. Hold on. Before I even had the chance to stop him, Heathcliff barged into the door, and we found ourselves almost getting dragged in by his sheer fervor.
오.
Oh. We found ourselves in a rather sizable room. This place was decorated with numerous Christmas-themed ornaments, warm, cozy lighting reflected off the wooden flooring, and a maze of conveyor belts were installed all over the place. This place is a factory?
그러하네.
Quite. You know, I like Christmas and I like the whole holiday season because I feel like it's a fun vibe, you know? But I actually don't like Christmas theming. I don't know, I'm much more of a fan of like Halloween and stuff. Most holidays are just kind of whatever to me, but Halloween is pretty fun. I only enjoy it because everybody's festive, you know?
조그마한 꼬맹이 같은
Everybody's
게.
chill. Well, not really. I mean, some people get like holiday depression and stuff. So And what are those things? Those little children like,
이보게.
hark!
돈키호테가 왔네.
'Tis I, Don Quixote. What the hell is she doing? The little figures Heathcliff indicated didn't exactly look like children. They all froze for a moment before turning around in our direction. They weren't humans, that's for sure.
가만히 있어 보게.
Give me but a moment. I have already parlayed with these fellows. What happened to the sneakiest of peaks?
야, 시계 대가리.
Well, I had some things coming this way. A small, but larger than others around it, figure scurried over and stood before us. Ah, Lady Don Quixote, you finally graced us with your presence once again, Ome. And just as you did before, poof, appearing from the most unexpected places again, Ome. Who's this Don Quixote? The one who shall grant us the wonderful gifts indeed. He rubbed his hands, or what I assume to be his hands together, looked up at us, and started. Pleased to make your acquaintance, Ome. You must be Lady Don Quixote's friend, Omes. My name is Dodoru, a gnome who works at this gift factory, Ome, and why, of course, I make gifts here, Ome. Indeed, a gnome. I guess I am meant to pronounce it as gnome and gifts gnome or whatever, not Ome. What are gnomes anyway? They're not humans, right? Yes, these fellows are not humans, they're gnomes. Yes, of course. Not human gnomes, hum. Didn't think non-humans were allowed in this city. Allowed? So the world outside the city has like sentient non-humans? Or... Curious. They're not abnormalities or distortions either. They're something else. The city. I knew it. Well, why does it matter if they're not humans? What truly matters is the heart with which they commit themselves to work, that is. Of course. You're absolutely right, milady. Didn't that Dodoru gnome say something weird about the city just now?
나만 그렇게 느낀 거 아니지?
That wasn't just me, huh? Well, this Dodoru cut in on our conversation. Do the friends of Lady Don Quixote wish for any present-oms? Say we have fancy clothes and powerful weapon-oms, or delicious cookie-oms.
멋진... 어? 있는 거냐?
Fancy clothes? So, do you really have them? Looks like we've got a winner-om. Well, please, this way. The gnome said something about introducing us to the reception hall and led us to a certain room in his scurrying gait. This seems more like a storage space than a reception hall. Behold, there is a warm fireplace and a table in this cozy place. What more could thee possibly ask for? And we have some delicious refreshments ready for you as well, Please wait a moment, and I'll be right back with the gifts you want, The gnome bowed, opened the door, and scuttled out of the room. I like the squeaking sounds. Are reception halls usually this barren? I've never been in one before, so I had no idea if this was what they were supposed to look like. Had to ask. Especially because it was starting to get pretty obvious, even with my rather limited experience, that there was something off about this whole situation. I have once heard the rumor that this kind of decor has been catching on in recent years.
나도 들은 적 있어.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Apparently it's popular for some blokes to just deliberately leave their stuff lying around in some half-finished looking buildings. Is that what this is? Still thy hearts, Manager Esquire. I shall personally be responsible for this expedition and claim ourselves shiny gifts.
여차하면 들고 나를 수도 있을 거고.
If push comes to shove, I could nab some of those. Saw them packing some shiny, expensive looking stuff over there. No thievery this time, Heathcliff. Has the incident with the hair coupons already left thy mind? Fine. Heathcliff was as foul-mouthed as always, but it was evident that from his relaxing expression that his anxiety was starting to ease. Maybe the fact that we're here, about to find what we're looking for, was a comforting thought. Heathcliff, is it that important that you dress well for this occasion? Oh, yeah. A rather delicate but gently smoldering hearth. Calm, silent air. A perfect atmosphere to bring up uncomfortable subjects for some honest heart-to-heart. Or someone waiting for you there. Someone who you'd like to dress up for?
뭐
Well, I suppose you're not completely wrong.
비밀 이야기인가?
A secret, is it? Don Quixote excitedly and loudly dragged her chair up close to Heathcliff.
나는 보란 듯이 성공해서
I have to go back as a successful man, as someone of great worth.
적어도 예전에
But
굴러먹던
they'll know that I've
가난한
changed,
히스클리프를
that I'm no longer that
살릴 수
witless
없도록.
brigand Heathcliff.
그러니까
So I have to dress
고급스럽고 멋진
posh
옷으로
when I return,
그럴싸하게 보이는
to
건
appear like a
내게
man of
엄청
quality.
중요한 거.
Hath someone stoked the fire of envy in thy stomach? Is this about revenge, like Ishmael?
복수.
Revenge. Heathcliff leaned back in his chair. I'm not gonna like Heathcliff by the end of Canto 6, but I might relate to some parts. Okay, we'll see. We'll see. Because I'm seeing what they're setting up, and I'm like, okay, interesting. Interesting. There was a look of deep introspection on his face, which was, in my memory serves him right, at first. If my memory serves... Oh my god, I completely misread that, sorry. Which was, if my memory serves me right, a first.
뭐
Oh, I suppose you could call it revenge, but
근데
what I really want to do is
후회하게 해주겠다.
make her regret.
그게 더 맞는
Yeah.
것 같아.
That's what this is.
나는 거기서
I'll show them.
날 무시했던
I'll
놈들
trample over those bastards who thought I wasn't worth shit.
나를 선택하지 않았던 걸 땅을
That she'll regret not choosing me, so that she will feel that regret down to the deepest reaches of her heart.
사실은 누구보다도 어울리는 사람이
I'll prove to Kathy that there was no better man for her than I. Kathy. Heathcliff's eyes tremble a little as he speaks her name. He's mentioned that name before. His eyes trembled then too. This Kathy must be someone pretty important to you.
당연하지.
Of course.
무진장.
Bloody important. So, what happened between the two of you? Between you and
정확히
Kathy?
말하면 캐서린이지.
Catherine, to be
캐시라고
exact.
부르는 거고.
And I call her Kathy.
길고 골치
It's a
아픈
long and complicated story.
이 돈키호테 감히
Allow mine intuition to speak for thee. This Kathy must be thy lover, is she not? Wait, is that what she is to you?
아니야. 그런 것까지
No,
아니야.
it's nothing like that.
그,
Uh,
그렇다고
maybe a little
수도 있을지.
bit. While his disposition was as brusque as always, I could clearly see that he couldn't stop himself from smiling from a mere mention of her name, and that gave me more than enough answers. Every sinner had a reason for joining Limbus Company, so maybe Heathcliff joined Limbus Company for this Kathy person. Makes me wonder what kind of person she might be, though. Someone that special, that precious to Heathcliff.
왜 그렇게 아른한
Don't be so
말투냐?
overdramatic, that ain't me. Now, I do this out of my own obligations as the manager, but I'm starting to think I want to help you out so that you could be the best man you can be for her.
그렇소.
Indeed, we shall all be.
멋쟁이 같아.
People love cool. I heard a door open in that very moment. It wasn't the reception hall door. That one was made of wood and wouldn't make that sound I just heard. This sound came from over there, away from us, from a dark corner of the room. Then we heard sounds of metal scraping against wood. It was accompanied by a howling blizzard. So those were sleigh marks, huh? A huge sleigh made its way across the wooden floor. On the marks that were already on the floorboards, it was flanked by several gnomes. The sleigh was red, and the sacks on it were either black or red. They were all littered with flesh and blood.
도도로. 다음
Dodoro?
선물 재료를 갖고 왔음.
I like this voice. We've got your next batch of ingredients right, Arome.
허리가 다 쑤숑. 조금만 참으라옴. 그래도 선물
Just think
받은
about the looks on our
친구들을
friends'
만나면
faces when they open their presents.
고생은 금방이지
All is
않겠소?
worth it, of course. Well worth it.
맞음.
Here. The gaggle of gnomes who were walking in our direction as they chatted and gossiped froze in place upon noticing
왜
us.
농땡이를 피고 있는 것이오?
Quit lollygagging.
거기서 수다 떨지 말고 좀 도우라옴. 이번엔 양도 많고.
We've got a lot to process. Besides, we've brought some live ones this time. I think I saw some sacks on the sleigh move. No, they were thrashing, like something was trying to escape. Is that... Grab you open, girl.
왜 그렇게
What is the matter with
심각한
thee?
건가?
These fellows are but hard-working.
거기 누가 있는 거죠? 살려주세요. 여기서 꺼내줘요.
Huh. Is there someone out there? Please help. Get me out of here.
기쁘고
What a joyous day.
신나는
This one's fresh.
이럴 수가.
그런데 저것들
But they're
도도로
human
실장이
gnomes.
잡아온
Did
건가?
manager Dodoro bring them
어디서 저렇게
in?
멀쩡하게 인간을 데려온 거지?
How do you manage to bring in humans so fresh home?
자네들
All alone.
설마
Thy factory has been...
아이고.
Oh boy. I could hear a familiar voice coming from the other door in the room as Don Quixote stood there flabbergasted.
도도루가 실수를 저질러 버렸소.
Daughter has done a blunder, That sleigh wasn't supposed to be coming here,
너무 신경 쓰지
Don't you worry, Just a little game between us gnomes.
도도로공
도도루 듣고 있음.
저 주머니에 들어있는
Tell me the contents of these sacks.
그냥 선물 재료일
Raw material for presents, of course. Besides, Lady Don Quixote, Daughter has prepared these fancy clothes for you and your friends to wear. Why don't we head right over to
그
wear?
재료라는 게 뭐란 말인가?
도도루 거짓말하기 지쳤음. 인간이잖아, 인간. 니놈들 같은 인간.
The mouths kind of remind me of Made in Abyss a little bit. Daughter's tired of lie. Ohms.
너희들 다른 창고로 들이라고 내가 나갈 때 말했음.
What'd I say about using the storage space? I told you this one's off limits.
우리 공장 장난감.
What are you gonna deliver? Nothing but disappointment to our neighbors? Even now, they await gifts from our factory.
미안하오.
My bad.
공장장님께 기대하시오.
And I already told the factory director to look forward to this batch. What was I thinking? This was absolutely not worth it. I know what you're thinking, Blockhead, so quit sighing and start strategizing. We've got to get out of here, yeah? Sitting here and feeling sorry for myself won't do anything. Never did.
모두 도구 꺼내라움. 이거 그래.
Okay. Well. Sure.
들어주겠네.
We can win it with 2 people. That's fine. Alright, they get extra turns. Will they each get like a bunch of extra turns or only 1 extra turn per person?
들어주겠네.
Dost thou know? Oh yeah, okay, they got more. Fun.
정화.
This song too. Can you use 2 egos in a row? Can you just do that? I can't use egos anyway, right? Yeah, because it's... I can do this one, I guess. Sure, why not? Alright, yeah. Could you, like... I guess you could just, like... play with one character.
이 안에 담아주지.
That's a lot of turns, actually.
들어주겠네.
Okay. Playing with 2 characters is actually not a problem at all. As it turns out. Well, it's kind of a problem, actually. They are, like, dying.
옆에 있었군.
무슨
Primarily just because, Huh. How'd you rate the OST theme? Some of it is really good, some of it is like whatever. There have been a couple of tracks that I kind of just thought, it's fine. But mostly it's been either good or really good. Like really good. I loved the song that was at the end of Canto 5. That was awesome. A couple of the battle themes were good. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. It's quite good. This one's good too. I actually like it. I will never listen to it by itself, but it's like fun. I wonder if defense is worth it here. Wait, hold on. Question. There's no way for me to prevent
옆에 있었군.
getting staggered, right? Yeah, I don't think there's a way. I'm just kind of cooked either way. Well, whatever.
들어주겠네.
Guess she's gonna get staggered. Whoop. She might die. I would really prefer not to spend resources on upgrading these units, man. I can't lie. She's fucking dead. For the one time I can't actually get carried. That's so sad. This guy's toast.
정화
Okay. This loss does not count, okay? I did not know what to expect. I had no idea what to expect. So this does not count.
안돼 이대로 돌아가면
I mean, I don't have... Is it worth uptying him, maybe? I'm not gonna get a support now. I'm not. On principle, I will never play with a support. Even if the principle is stupid.
아니, 나는 자격이 안 되는 것 같은데. 뜻이 그렇다면 따라야겠지만.
It is fine. Whoop. I'll just level up Don Quixote, it's fine. Wait! I may not have enough stuff. Probably. Ooh, this is not... level 31? How bad could it be? I guess I could just do like one of these real quick. Oh, I haven't even done this. Well, let's do it. Why not? Right?
자유로운
저를 부르셨다.
저 이상
원하신다.
발목 잡지 않도록.
We'll do one real quick, and then hopefully it'll be enough to get Don Quixote to like level
전부
I don't know.
전해드리죠.
something a little higher.
나비가 날개짓하네.
낙인을 새겨드리죠.
It's. I will say it's kind of funny to lose on that fight. I haven't lost a lot in this game yet because I've been getting carried by my units really hard. It is kind of funny to not lose on like a big boss fight or something, but on like fucking fighting 2 gnomes in an, you know, in a storage space.
낮도 밤도 지루 숨이 닿도록 배우낼 뿐
칼날 사출.
여기 심장이 잠깐 저릿했기.
Maybe I'm too stubborn with the sports, honestly. But I don't care.
싫다면
I'll be stubborn. Fuck it. I think maybe it's okay to be stubborn sometimes.
그 슬픈 눈 둘. 셋째.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I don't know. I think character locked missions are actually kind of fun,
실력을
but it is frustrating if you want to progress and get past it. But I don't know. Personally, I enjoy that kind of thing. So I think this is kind of fun, even though it sucks that I have to put resources into units that I don't really, you know, plan on keeping or anything like that, you know. I think it makes things a bit, you know, it's a shakeup, which is
완벽하게 수행되었지
nice.
않은가?
We'll do one extra.
저희
Thank
사무소
you.
수준이라면 해결할 수 있었을. 별것 아닌 의뢰였을 텐데.
Wait, actually, how
의뢰의
many?
의도를 달성할 수라도 있었으니 만족해야겠죠.
Oh my god. You know what I could have done if I was smart? Oh man. Never mind. It's fine. Don't worry. I should have really recorded that video looking at Don Quixote's IDs, man. Ah. Alright. This will be enough, right? 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 Right?
네. 아, 그래.
I suppose I should select them first.
시간 됐네.
정화.
미안해.
쓰러지겠네
Trust, this time it's gonna go fine. Imagine I'm stuck on this fight for the rest of the stream. Just can't get past it.
정화.
With this fucking music playing in the background as well. No way.
쓰러지겠네
정화.
Da-da-da-da-da.
또 죽었나?
Da-da-da-da-da.
또 죽었나?
Damn. Destroyed him. Now that I'm thinking about it, would it ever be like viable to do a bunch of defensive skills on the first wave of enemies
정화.
to like get more skills and stuff, and then you fight the further waves or something? I don't know. I wonder if that would be like a good strategy.
이단을 해제.
Killing it. Straight killing it. Fuck. Okay.
정화. 또 죽었나?
Are there only 2 waves? No, there's 4 waves. There's 4 waves. Oh my god. Wait, I might actually like I might not make it again. She's gonna get staggered again, right? Like immediately after this. Okay. Oh, this is so fucking evil. Would it be better if I just used defensive skills? I mean, no. Whatever. It's gonna be alright. Yikes. Dude, it's the same thing as with like Slay the Spire. By itself, the attacks don't do that much damage, but it accumulates so much. Especially when you don't have a way to heal.
정화.
Jesus. Bro, she's just slamming them. I like the animation of that skill. No. Ah, it might be cooked. It might be over. It might actually just like, it might be over. Every surviving enemy unit, does that mean like these are the enemies or his enemies? Okay, his enemies. Oh. Okay. I'm kind of nervous. I really don't want to replay this again. Another time again. Jesus Christ. How am I like more scared of this fight than I was of the fucking Canto 5 boss? How am I like more on edge here than I was at the like finale of Canto 5? This is insane. This is so stupid. Why is this fight like more? Jesus. Okay. Like I'm still, I still feel like I'm slightly overpowered or like over leveled or whatever. And still, I don't know.
정화.
Yeah, Dom, Byaku, and Ricardo are literally fine. The gnomes are getting my ass a little bit. I mean, we should win this still, but
또 죽었나?
okay. There we go. Okay. It's fine. We won. We won. Nice. Hey, how many turns did that take?
이놈들.
These were some fierce swords. Yeah,
달려들었다고.
yeah.
내 불찰이요.
The fault lies with me. The light of confidence had completely faded from Don Quixote's face. So did her enthusiastic voice. No, I should have thought this plan through. Well, if we were to find someone to blame, the biggest fault would lie with me, the manager. Maybe I should have turned around the moment I sensed something was off.
그보다
Alas. With that, Don Quixote marched towards the new abandoned sleigh.
이게
This is... Several mutilated bodies tumbled to the ground as soon as Don Quixote undid the knot tying the sack.
진짜.
Damn it. I was afraid that this was what we'd find inside the sack. There were a total of 7 or so people in the sack, but they were all missing a few limbs, they were barely breathing, and some of them had already perished. I've never seen their style of clothing before. Looks like we're pretty far from where we were. I've seen similarly worn and torn clothing in the back streets, but the clothing they wore was off materials and styles that I've not seen before. The back door must have sent us pretty far. The peak of Limbus? That was last stream, sorry, you missed it. That was actually last stream. This isn't that bad though. I was told this is like really not like one of the worst intervalos or whatever, but this is like not bad. Past did tell me that each district within the city had different cultures and such, so it doesn't really matter, does it? They'll all die soon, and it's not like you can turn the clock for them. Let's just get back to the bus.
아니 여기 이
Nay,
사람은
here.
멀쩡한 것 같네.
This person here is intact. Hark, get a hold of thyself. Art thou the one who requested our help earlier? Who are you? Santa Claus? No. Dude, when I heard the name Red Sack, my mind went completely elsewhere. I didn't clear it within 10 turns. Oh, fuck off. No way. How are you supposed to do that? What the hell? That's so ridiculous. I'm gonna have to come back to this? You're telling me I'm gonna have to come back to fighting the gnomes when I get a better ID? Insane. Alright, well. It is good. Okay, I do plan on... For my next ID, I would either want it to be Ishmael, Otis, or Don Quixote. So, one of those 3 I want. So, it might end up being her. Maybe, potentially. We'll see. So, yeah. Monstrous gifts. Oh, 6 people. Can I deploy them? Because,
저를 부르셨다는
저희 상
원하신다.
okay.
오늘도 부디 정신을 유지할 수 있기를.
Fascinating.
특이하신 분들이네요. 마을에서 오신 분들은
Your clothes are all weird looking. Guess you're not from the village? The child was dressed in torn and faded clothing. From the way she looked at us, I could tell that she found us rather fascinating. She soon woke up from her momentary shock.
아무튼 구해주셔서
Anyways, thank you for
감사합니다.
saving me.
저는
My name's
크레용이라고요.
Crayon and
이빨
Clockwork Teeth? The kid pointed at me and backed away in terror.
딴지 같은 소리야.
What are you talking about?
저건
That's
시계
Clockhead.
대가리야.
My name is Dante.
어,
Clockhead?
시계
But I heard that Clockwork Teeth look like...
이빨
Clocks?
하긴 이빨
Guess I also heard that
그렇기보다
they
저
don't
밑에
show up
있다고 했으니까.
this high.
그렇다면
I've never seen a monster like that before though.
괴물 아닐세. 저분은
But they're not a monster. This is none other than our very own manager, Esquire.
하지만
But I can't hear anything but the tick-tocking of the clock. Well, Manager Esquire has their reasons. Art thou unharmed?
네,
Yeah.
같이 끌려오신 분들.
Looks like the other people who were dragged here with me weren't so lucky though. Taking it pretty well, being locked in like a bag of severed limbs and shit. The child looks at the mutilated corpses with a despondent look on her face. Don Quixote cast a sympathetic gaze.
이들은
So they were all neighbors
같은
from thy
마을에
village?
계셨다는데.
Yeah, but our village will soon send the hunters to save us. As long as they can get here, they can... Hunters? I'm not sure what exactly she was talking about, so I was about to ask her what she meant. But this reception hall storage room suddenly began to fill with gas of unknown origin.
이건 또 뭐야?
Gas. You have 10 minutes, you have 5 minutes. What's this now? Hold thy breathing. An odd plume of gas, its hue red and green, begins to fill the room. It's the same gas from then. What the fuck is that saying? I was kidding. The three of them, including Crayon, passed out and slumped on the floor. Something like this has happened before when we walked right into a room full of toxic gas which killed everyone. Looks like this gas only knocked them out though. That's a relief at least. Guess I should consider myself lucky that my clock head isn't affected by these things. I gotta hide. As soon as I hid in the corner, a crowd of gnomes rushed through the same door Dodoru came in from. Gas masks, so they use sleeping gas on us.
이건 도도로 실장이
어.
얻은 것이지 않음?
Is that all that's left of manager Dodoru? All that talk of snagging 3 top-notch raw materials, and now look at him, a pile of meat on.
한놈, 두놈, 세놈, 수는 맞는 것 같아.
All accounted for, I suppose.
잠가루로 재웠으니
They're all
분명히
fast
큰
asleep with the
문제
sleepy
없을
powder.
거다.
So don't y'all worry yourselves about harming the good ohms.
자자.
Well, let's move the good ohms. They picked up Don Quixote, Heathcliff, and Crayon one by one and loaded them onto the sleigh. With that, they left, closing the door behind them. And through it all, I couldn't do anything but watch. Alright, looks like this is my time to shine. I'll rescue the 3 of them. No way. I should have listened when Ishmael offered to teach me self-defense. What do I do? This harsh truth dawns on me every time we face total annihilation. The truth that on my own, I am completely useless. If they were with us, I could at least bring them back, but none of the sinners are here with me. What good am I without them? It's a miracle that I managed to survive this far.
신기하긴 뭐가 신기해요.
Miracle? What
정신
miracle?
차려요.
Come on, get a hold of yourself.
환청이 아니에요, 관리자님.
You're not hearing things, manager. We're really here.
갑자기 너네 셋이
Do you even know what a
사라졌다고
mess it
해서
was
난리도
up there when we
안
realized that the 3 of you just
오랜만에
vanished into thin
심심하지만
air? I bolted up and looked toward the voice. There, I saw another door. And from it, the rest of the sinners appeared one by one. Guys!
아이고, 덜 신선한 재료는 또 놓고 왔어.
이 소동에 대한 질문은
I will inquire about this incident later, Dante. For now, command us in this battle. Let's go. I get to be carried again. Different song? Same song. Never mind. Jesus Christ.
이 순간이 낮도 밤도 지워 숨이
I'm home. I'm back home.
무아뭉쳐. 전부 잡아들이죠.
나비가 날개짓다. 실력을 잘 이용하지 못하셨을 때
돌아가기 싫다면
배웠으로
당연히 유쾌하게 그대 아비규환.
I kind of like the way non-focused battles look more because it happens more kind of dynamically, you know?
슬슬
Like there are multiple animations going on at the same time sometimes. It's fun.
이 순간이 닿도록 베어내리라. 베어낼수록
여기 심장이 잠깐 저릿했기에 셋째 낙인을 새겨드리죠. 이번에야말로 전부 잡아드리죠. 싸움을 끝내주겠어. 그 슬픈 눈도
I kind of hope that we don't do the individual fights though,
여기 심장이
especially if they're harder on Don Quixote and Heathcliff.
완벽하게 수행되었지 않은가. 하지만
This is gonna be the one blemish. This is the one time
그렇다면
that I didn't like first try a mission and didn't even clear it in 10 turns. That's so sad. And it's gonna remain that way for like a long while. That's so fucked up.
오늘도 부디 정신을 유지할 수 있기를.
Thanks, Severnian. How did you find me?
뒷문으로 들어왔소.
We entered via the back door. Your signals were no longer detected from within the bus premises, and every sinner was immediately summoned from their respective rooms for the search. And so soon after our break started, Dante, let's try not to do anything like this again.
아무리 관리자님이라고 해도 이런 단독 행동은 큰 위험을 초래합니다.
Even if you are the executive manager, rogue behavior such as this poses too great risk. Please be wary of that. Did you guys find this?
나의 추측이었어.
I have deduced it. As of late, Heathcliff was in a constant state of uneasiness, considering the nature of our circumstances. I conjectured that there was that he had to do before arrival at T-Corp. Oh my god.
돈키호테 양은 이전 버스 경보가 있던 날 조금 늦게 뒷문으로 돌아왔소.
This is not topping Canto 5. Come on. No way. That Canto was so good. I feel like they're not gonna surpass that for a while. I would be shocked if Canto 6 is better. Like genuinely shocked. Not just like surprised. I would be beside myself if it was better. On the day in which the backdoor volatility siren echoed, Don Quixote made a relatively delayed return to the back door, and, come the next day, she requested that me and Miss Faust an encyclopedia of common symbols used in the city.
네. 파우스트가
So Faust lent her a few volumes. Ever since receiving the volumes, Miss Don Quixote sat next to me and perused the pages with a rather enthusiastic expression on her
나의 컨디션이 좋지 않아
countenance.
말을 걸지는 못했어.
Although I could not converse with her on account of my conditions,
코스프레,
I do recollect that
주머니 등에
the following words were repeatedly uttered:
버렸지.
cosplays, costumes, sack.
이상의 일들을 종합하면
In summation, I surmised that Miss Don Quixote witnessed a series of symbols that caught her attention when the siren blared.
기호를 찾았고
Canto 6? Okay. Fair. I still doubt it though, because
파우스트가 알고
I don't know.
때문에 결과적으로 이 공간에 도착할 수 있었습니다.
I think even if I really resonate with Heathcliff's story and everything, I'm stubborn, man. I don't know. I am. I feel like even if I like it, I'll just be it'll just be harder to win me over. Faust was aware of the door on which those symbols were drawn. Based on information, the sinners were able to find their way there.
먼까지 가는 동안 복도에 있던
We engaged
존재들은
several entities
전투를
of the corridor on our path to this door.
그나마 조무래기들이니까 다행이었지.
Good thing we only ran into weaklings though.
그런 상황에서
Speak for yourself, bro. That gnome fight
인원 손실을 발생시킬 수도 있습니다.
was like the first hard fight in the entire game. An irreversible death of a sinner could have occurred in the process.
이해하셨나요?
Do you understand?
관리자님이 없는
Engaging
상황에서
hostile
일어나는
forces
전투는
in your absence carries an exceedingly high level of risk.
복도 어딘가에서 시체가
We could have been lost forever in some
영영
corner of the
되살아나지
corridors
못할
as
수도
bodies, never to be revived or retrieved.
관리자님의 단독 행동이
Please
얼마나 큰
comprehend the weight of your
위험인지.
responsibilities and the risk your independent action carries.
관리자님은
You must survive, executive manager, no matter what. I kind of like that they're giving him shit for this, actually. This is good.
아시겠습니까?
I'll make myself clear.
이번엔 운이 좋았던 것입니다, 단테.
Your survival was a lucky coincidence, Dante. The sequence of these symbols are not supposed to be interpreted in such a haphazard manner. I'm really sorry, I don't know what else to say.
이 정도로 해두죠.
I believe that is enough, but
돈,
NDQ.
그렇네요.
Yeah, Don Quixote, Heathcliff.
히스클리프.
Where's the pair run off to? Oh, that's
잘도 살아있어.
seriously. How'd you three even manage to survive this far? Alright, manager, I am sure you've heard enough from the others, so I won't say more, but where exactly are we? Which district is this? This cold. We must be somewhere in one of the northern districts of the city, or
이곳은 도시가 아닙니다.
we are not in the city.
아니, 그게
What
무슨 말이야?
do you mean? Real?
단어 그대로 해석하시면
I mean that
됩니다.
we're not in the city. Those intelligent organisms called gnomes are part of a species surviving in the outskirts,
흔히
commonly known as monsters of the outskirts.
호수에서 그렇게
Monsters again,
즐겁사고
after all that we faced at the lake.
괴물이야.
They weren't exactly like the whales though. We could communicate with the gnomes. They were just like people except smaller.
외곽의 다른 지역과
So we're in a completely different region of the outskirts. I would have liked to explore the area if the circumstances permitted. Look, this structure seems to have been custom built for the gnomes, considering how small everything is here.
여기가 외곽이라면
If this is the outskirts, we can go back, right?
저희가 들어온 문이 닫히지
As long as the
않는
door we entered through remains open, yes.
아직은 열려 있는 것 같아.
It is open for now.
만약
What if it closes?
뜻밖의 여정이
Then,
시작됩니다.
an unexpected journey begins. We will have to trek the distance from the outskirts back to the city, which will be a significant endeavor in both time and effort. Isn't that a bit dangerous?
여기서 무슨 소리가 자꾸 나오?
여기 노다지가 걸어다니고 있음.
단테,
Dante, come hither to the back of the line. The door slammed open and gnomes began flooding into the room. We prepared ourselves for battle. I mean, Dante is right to, you know, try to not make the same mistake as he did with Ishmael, right? And actually try to address the worry that Heathcliff had. But not consulting at all with Faust or anything. Like, come on, man. So, I don't know. I liked seeing the crew giving him, you know, giving him some shit for it. I honestly wish he had like a stronger reaction maybe to that. It felt like he, you know, he was sorry, but he like brushed it off a little bit. I don't know. It's Christmas. Then he should have celebrated it with everybody. Come on, bring everybody along.
이 순간이 다 되어 내리라. 원망도 옅어지나.
이번에야말로 이 싸움 끝내주겠어. 망설이지 말고.
되어낼수록 나쁘진 않았습니다. 이 순간이 다 되어내리라.
I kind of hope at the end of this we actually kill Santa Claus. but not like if Santa Claus is or was a fixer, there's probably not gonna be a Santa Claus, but something like it, an evil Santa Claus.
목을 내놓으시죠. 죄인인가? 나갈 수 없어. 목을 내놓으시죠.
사람이랑 닮은 부분도 있긴
I
하지만
can see there's similarities with humans, but they
역시
certainly
사람은
aren't
아니에요.
humans.
노음이라는 건 희한한 말투를
Except for their
쓰는
odd
건
verbal quirk, these monsters are impressively communicative. I don't even know if they should be categorized as monsters.
정의하기 나름입니다.
The definition is often arbitrary. Some may call them monsters, yet others may call them members of a different sentient race. I appreciate your analyses, but we should probably get moving. We still don't know where Heathcliff and Don Quixote are.
역시 오늘도 맞는
You always say the right
말씀을
things at the right
하시는
time, Executive Manager.
월박은 평소 우리의
So
작전을
true.
진행하는 것보다 위험도가 높다.
Exploring the outskirts area will carry higher risks than our usual operation grounds. To ensure the manager's safety, we must first establish a more structured plan.
뭐
Oh,
제일 쉬운
I'd say the
방법은
easiest answer would be to leave the two of them, but the easiest path isn't always the right one. Ishmael kicked open the door, the gnomes rushed in from. Come on, let's go. We'll protect the manager and save Heathcliff and Don Quixote. Heavy breathing. To find the pear.
발목 잡지
The pear in the sack.
최선을 다할게요.
Oh. Dun, dun,
단을 따를게요.
낮도 밤도 지나
dun.
숨이 타도록 태어내
Amazing. Dun, dun, dun.
전부 잡아드리죠.
이 순간이 타도록
조금
태어내리
과감하게 돌아가기 싫다면
원망도 옅어지나
I mean, yeah. Canto 4, I felt the same way for sure.
그려낸 대로
I thought that I was probably not gonna feel as strongly about Canto 5, but I do.
태어내리
But I don't know. I think that will not be a trend for me. I don't know. I really doubt it
그대는 어디까지 가고 있어?
that I'll like Canto 6 more.
낮도 밤도 지나 숨이 타도록 태어내
Like maybe some of them I'll like more, but
옅어지나
Canto 5 was just so good. And it did a lot of things that I like,
여기 심장이
you know?
잠깐 정리했지. 모아뭉중.
And I feel like it was more than just it being good. It was like appealing to my personal tastes and preferences as well in some ways. At least in some ways.
완벽하게 수행되었지 않은가?
So I'd be surprised if
아직
that happened again.
발목 잡지 않도록 최선을 다할게요.
칼날 사출.
순순히 오라를 받으시죠.
이 순간이 타도록 태어내리라
모아뭉중.
당신의 판단을 따를게요.
나비가 날개짓 하듯 실력을 잘 이용하지 못하셨으니
원망도 옅어지나
Same with the song actually.
낮도 밤도
The song at the end of or like in the final fight of Canto 4 was good, but it was just like good and that's it. It was fine. The song at the end of Canto 5 was actually Like, I wanted to. I forgot to add it to my playlist, but I wanted to. I should get around to that if I don't forget. I feel like it's possible that the other Cantos are going to be just as good. It's just a matter of personal preference and taste, you know? Evade with Reshu? I don't want to kill my guys. No need. No need for that. I'm good.
완벽하게 수행되었지 않은가? 하지만 아직 기약은
Oh, these are straight up fights, huh?
그렇다면 여전히
I'm kind of surprised they brought that back for the interval, I guess.
나와서 보니까
So now that I've had some time to look around here,
공장
this facility appears to be a gift factory.
아,
I
이런
see.
식으로 선물
So
자체를
there are factories like
만들어내면
this that produce
크리스마스
gifts.
장식도
Christmas decorations
아주
everywhere.
크리스마스
There's
때까지는
still some time until Christmas
시간이
though.
좀 남아.
Sinclair looked at the ground with a somber expression.
괴물끼리 크리스마스 선물이라
I wonder if monsters exchange gifts with each other. They didn't seem like the most hospitable sort. There is a possibility they may be contractors to one of the wings in the city. I wanted to say no chance, but the city and the wings that we've experienced so far were... yeah, I could see that. There was a non-zero chance of that being the case. If I evade... I like he sang though. I don't want him to die.
까지 가고 있을
나비가 날개짓다.
No shot.
이 순간이 다
I actually don't think I've used evade on Ryoshu one time. I don't even like... I do kind of want to try it. Now that you mention it. Huh. Nah.
당신의
No
바람을
way.
따를게요. 순순히 조금 더 과감하게 이번에야말로 전부 잡아들이자. 싸움을 끝내주겠어.
The waves, man.
낮도 밤도 지나 숨이 닿도록 베어낼 것. 이 순간이 닿도록 베어내리라. 낮도 밤도 지나 숨이 닿도록 베어낼 것.
I don't need to feed her. She's strong enough. She already carries my team entirely by herself. Her and Yisang actually just
여기 심장
murder everybody.
잠깐 저리 대기해.
After spending some time battling gnomes and trashing the gift factory, we soon realized that the gifts the conveyor belt were moving weren't your average gifts.
발인가?
What, a foot?
발이 그려져
And
있는
a
그
sign with the
왜
drawing of a
저렇게
foot?
붙는 거야?
What's that doing here?
이쪽은
This one is adorned with a depiction of an eyeball.
이 선물들의
These
성분은
gifts appear to be made from the materials that do not normally go into building these items. Their shapes are of teddy bears, crayon boxes, toy trains, but they have an abnormally high concentration of protein and phosphorus. However, the decorations and the laths are made of proper materials. They must have salvaged the wastes expelled from the city. It's obvious. GMFH.
사람으로 만든
뭐든지 사람을 갖고 해결하는 건 외곽이나 도시나 똑같네.
That's kind of the dream, actually, to get a full team for Ryoshu. I feel like that would be really cool. But alas, probably won't happen ever for me. Yeah. More stuff made from human sacrifice. I guess the outskirts isn't so different from the city, huh?
중요한 건 누구를 위한 선물인가.
What's really concerning is, who are these gifts for?
누가
Who in their right mind would want anything like these?
모르지. 부자 놈들은 은근히
Who
이런
knows? Rich folks with screwed up provisions? Maybe that's who they're for.
그런데 말이지.
So,
사람으로 선물을 만드는
they're making
거라면
gifts out of people. Heathcliff and Don Quixote will the gnomes turn them into gifts too? I do recall them saying something about locally produced materials.
시가 급하겠구려.
Then we must move with haste.
선물이 미리 되지
I've discovered the
않았다는
location of the high probability of their
그들이 있을
presence,
곳,
presuming that they
제일
haven't
높은
been turned
곳을
into
알
gifts yet. After a long silence, Marisol spoke up. He pointed in a direction.
선물
There.
제작소라는
The
간판이
placard says
붙어있다.
gift assembly. It's just the same drawing of a gift, but with different colors on it.
반드시 팬다. 아비들도 거미집도.
전부 잡아드리죠.
나비가 날개짓다.
This song, dude.
오라를 돌아가기 싫다면
무어뭉중.
칼날 사출. 이 순간 실력을 잘 이용하지 못하셨을 뿐.
그 슬픈 눈빛. 좋구려.
목을 내놓으시죠.
그대는 어디까지 각오했을지.
과감하게.
낮도 밤도 지우어 숨이 닿도록 베어낼 거야.
그 슬픈 눈빛. 여기 심장이. 잠깐 저릿했기에. 여기 심장이. 잠깐 저릿했기에.
이 또한 용서할 테니.
원망도 몇 터지나.
아비 교환.
I'm starting to think this interval will take the full stream, actually. I was a bit worried that it would be too short, but
원망도 몇 터지나.
여기 심장이. 잠깐 저릿했기에. 7. 앞으로 2.
이번에야말로 전부
이
잡아드리죠.
순간이
끝내주겠어.
베어내리라.
I kind of hope the
낮도 밤도
next,
지우어
because this is intervalo 3, and there's gonna be intervalo 4 after, right? Before the console actually begins, I think. And I kind of hope that one takes place in T Corp, or approaching T Corp or something.
공세가 시작되기 전에 파우스트가 나서겠어.
I'm hearing some odd noise from in there. A rather high-pitched SOS. It's always a good indicator of wonderful happenings.
비명 소리가 들리는데
Can you not giggle about sounds of screaming, please?
익숙한 놈나지.
I'm familiar with this tone. The decibel range of the screaming is an exact match with Don Quixote's. Wait, we have yet to conduct the threat assessment of the combat area. That area appears to be a closed-off space, which means...
히스클리프군이 있었다.
Notice, were Heathcliff with us, he would have said as such. Said what? I think I know. How bloody frustrating. Quit whinging, pick up your tools, and get cracking.
제법 웃기네요.
Ishmael soon blasted the door open with a powerful kick. Meanwhile,
여긴 대체 뭐야?
where the bloody hell are we? Why am I tied up?
미안하네.
I regretfully say unto thee that we are quite screwed.
필시
Forsooth, we are fated to become toys in that hydraulic press.
우리는 저
It appears that when the time cometh, I shall be turned into a roly-poly toy myself,
다시
that riseth with every fall.
야, 이상한 소리 그만하고 이것 좀 어떻게
Shut your trap and do something. We've got to get out of these binds.
히스클리프군.
I apologize profusely. 'Tis true that there was the tiniest bit of selfishness within me that wished to procure the red sack cosplay set for myself. However, it was no lie that I wished to find thee an impeccable outfit. You little shit. I know that this was going to happen. I knew. Once I'm out of these binds, I'll... At least thou shalt become an elaborate pocket watch. Clocks again? I think they're going to turn me into a box of color pencils. 24 vibrant natural colors, or so it says.
살아있는 재료는 오랜만에 보는 것 같음.
근데 조금 귀가 아픈 것 같음. 귀 저렇게 악을 쓰는 인간들로 만들어진 선물이.
The more they scream, the happier our recipients will be. Why?
자,
히스클리프 씨
Heathcliff, Don Quixote, and what a relief.
아직 선물이 되지
They've not been turned
않으셨네요.
into gifts yet.
꽤 코지한 분위기고.
Quite cozy in here. I like the whistle.
꽤 코지한 분위기고.
어떻게
We're here for you, Heathcliff.
시계 대가리? 젠장이 이렇게
Didn't think I'd ever be glad to see your mug. Looks like we got here in the nick of time. Heathcliff was about to be shoved into the gift-making hydraulic machine press.
자, 내 밧줄을 끊었어.
I've hung your straps. Descend. Look, it's not the type. I'm not the type to wear my heart on my sleeve, but after you lot saved me from getting turned into a pocket watch, I have to say,
이 머저리들.
you absolute idiots. You two had one job to remain by the executive manager's side, yet you let yourself be captured like this?
됐다. 취소하려나?
You know what? Forget it.
자, 빨리 정신 차려요.
Get a hold of yourself, you two.
관리자님.
Manager,
이제
what now?
어떡하죠?
Well, we've got to thrash this place. Come on. Get ready to wear your identities.
새겨드리죠. 망설이지 말고.
I don't know how to feel about the fact they're not addressing the identity stuff too much in the story. Like, it is canon, right?
그려낸데.
But the idea of, like, turning into an alternate version of yourself to go fight is so crazy to me. Like, if taken literally, right?
이 순간이 다
That seems so,
되어내리라.
you know, insane. Especially if it's something from, like, a bad end type situation. Like, how does Sinclair feel?
배우네.
How did he feel when I made him, like, wear the identity of himself from a world where he turned into the one who shall grip or whatever? That can't be, like, a good experience. I'm sure a lot of complicated feelings would arise.
원망도 엿하지나.
전부 잡아드리죠.
전부 펼쳐낸 나비처럼.
목을 내놓으시죠.
심장이 무어민 중.
After we defeated the horde of gnomes, Don Quixote and Heathcliff fell to their knees before everyone. I also knelt down, feeling like I should be down here with them, but Otis tightly pulled me to the side. I feel bad for those two.
준비되었어.
I'm ready. Commence, Lady Otis. You absolute buffoons. How did you ever think that this was going to turn out okay? Are you even aware of the risk executive manager took to get here? How worried they were about you two?
사실은 시계
Actually, Clockhead was in on it from the
관리자님의 이름을 그런 식으로 부르지 마라. 버릇없는 것.
Do not refer to the executive manager with such derogatory language, insolent fool. It was my fault.
어릴 적
My mother used to scold me like this in my youth. Otis did not seem to slow down at all with her stern scoldings, and the pair fell completely silent, their heads hung low. I decided to wander away from the scene. This guilty conscience was too much for me to bear. Is Crayon doing okay?
과도한 정신적
Yes,
충격으로
she merely lost her
잠시
consciousness from
기절했을
exposure to
뿐이었습니다.
excessive degree of psychological shock.
어쩌다 이런 곳에
How'd you find
끌려온
yourself at a
것이오?
place such as this?
사람
You're
인 거죠?
human, right?
여기는 정말
We're
외곽인
really in the outskirts? Crayon initially appeared somewhat taken back from the deluge of questions, but she soon began to open up.
역시
You're really from
여러분은
this city?
도시의 사람들이시군. 저는 외곽
I'm from
북쪽에 있는
Cloudtown. It's a village on the north side of the outskirts. Are there a lot of monsters like those gnomes out there that can speak?
네, 노움만 있는 건 아니고 여러 괴물이 있어요.
There are many more monsters out here other than the gnomes. I've seen a few of them myself, but the village elders told me about the rest.
저희 마을은
Our village was built to
그런
keep the monsters
괴물들을
out,
피해
to keep us
만들어진
safe.
동네도
If this didn't happen, we'd all be preparing dinner back at the village by now. So they raided your village. Yeah. And they attacked us when the hunters were gone, so we normally don't get raided by them around this time of year, so I thought we'd be safe, but they suddenly attacked us, rushing in on their sleighs. Some of us tried to fight, but we didn't stand a chance, and everyone they killed got shoved into the sacks on that sleigh. I passed out from the fright, but they thought I was dead too. I got shoved in the sacks like the rest of the villagers. We forced you to talk about something that couldn't have been easy to go through. I'm sorry.
아니에요.
It's okay.
저도
Can I ask things too? Anything.
도시에는 48가지 크레용 색깔이
Is it right that
있다는 게
crayon boxes in the
정말인가요?
city have 48 different colors? And they have gold and silver colored crayons too? Probably.
그리고
And
도시에는
there's just people in the city, right? No monsters like gnomes that try to
저희를
kill us,
죽이려는
right?
괴물
그거
It's
참
kind of hard to answer that,
고민이네.
actually.
높은 곳에 올라가서
Sometimes I'd climb a high hill to look at the city. I always saw pretty colorful lights from up
엄청
there.
예쁜 불빛이
So colorful that I
가득하구나.
don't have enough colors in my crayon box
제가
to draw
가진
them all.
색만으로는 칠할 수도 없이 부러웠어요.
I wish I could live in the city. If I lived there, I'd never have to worry about getting attacked by monsters. I could
행복하게 살
live
수
happily
있었는데
with all my neighbors.
정말 도시에
We've really
와보지
never been to
않았구나.
the city, huh?
거
SSE.
네?
I'm sorry?
거기서 거기.
Same story everywhere. It doesn't matter where you are, death always stalks us.
멋있어.
So cool.
한 번 더
Can you say
해주세요.
that again? That was cool?
그리고
Did you guys see anyone else nearby by any chance?
여기서 사람을 본 적은 없는 것 같은데요.
I don't think we ran into any other humans out there.
그럴 리가. 분명
But he has to be
구하러
here to save
와주셨을
us.
어떤 분이신가요?
What do you mean?
저희 구름 마을의
The best
제일
hunter of
강한
Cloudtown. If he was in the village, the gnomes wouldn't have.
그 말로
It
유추해보자면
appears that in the outskirts, there are hunters who specialize in hunting monsters akin to whalers of the Great Lake, that is.
그런데
잠깐만.
But wait,
사람들을 잡았다가 이런
so if they're kidnapping and killing
선물을
humans
만든다고
for these
했잖아. 이
gifts,
선물은
who are these gifts for? Hello. Of course, the gifts are for poor and kind neighbors who do not cry. I don't know when it happened, but a large shadow was looming over us.
깜짝이야.
What is that thing? I am Santara, bringer of gifts to our neighbors. Ho ho ho. The guffawing giant, garbed in red, carried a massive gift sack on his shoulder. It was definitely not a human.
저놈이야. 저놈이 여기 대가리를 했어.
저 옷이래.
The crimson garb. That is the crimson garb that I spoke of. The pair immediately jumped up from their knees and began shouting in unison. That's the red sack's outfit? Oh, then he's already...
설마
No,
사슴맨만
not the reindeer man too.
닥쳐라.
Shut it. Cut the useless chatter for once. After silencing the pair with a short, stern command, Otis approached me and spoke in a low voice.
관리자님,
Executive Manager, since he appears to be of an intelligent species, I will attempt to parley with it, but we best prepare for battle in case that talks falls through. Good idea.
이웃이라면 누구를 말하는 거죠?
What do you mean by neighbors? Wings? Clients from the city? But we are denied entry to the city, are we not?
저 덩어리도
That big lump of meat a gnome too?
놈들이 말하는 걸
I happened to overhear the gnomes during our time in captivity. They called our master Beard Giant, which I believe is not a gnome. A giant. There really are all kinds of monsters out there, huh?
단테, 저건 환상체는
It's not an
아닌 거야?
abnormality, is it? That's not an abnormality or a distortion. I'd say it's closer to the whales. Do you yearn for gifts too? Yet your kind already owns all there is to own. We and our neighbors in the outskirts wish so dearly for that very day. The one day we are allowed to joy and comfort in human gifts.
인간으로 장난감을 만들어서
You produce toys out of
인간에게
humans and
지원을
gift
가진
them to
자들에게
those who
선물하는
harbor
것이다.
hatred for humans.
순수한
Out of the pure
선의는
goodness of your heart. Where all those who have been marginalized and exiled by humans gather and wallow, we pour our infinite hatred and care into packaging these gifts. Quite the verbose way of saying, I refuse to negotiate. Okay.
반드시 팬다. 아비들도 거미집도
Oh my god, the song is different this time.
그려낸다.
낙인을 새겨드리죠.
Surely it's fine though. Imagining right now what would happen if I did this entire intervalo with just Heathcliff and Don Quixote. Sad times would have been had.
그 슬픈 셋째 죽음도 아비 교환기
이번에야말로 전부 잡아드리죠. 싸움을 끝내주겠어.
Is the next intervalo the same length as this one? Or around there? Can I do it in one stream as well?
여섯째
Same length again. Okay, I would like to do it in one stream as well, hopefully. So that we can get to Canto 6, you know, not too far into the future. It has a dungeon? Oh, brother.
여전히 무슨
Really?
그럼에도 멈추고 싶지 않아.
Might have to be a longer stream, potentially.
그 슬픈 여발 앞으로 하나.
망설이면 나아갈 수 없어.
I could just maybe like start stream a little sooner then or something.
어디까지 가고 있을지 아홉째. 완료.
Surely it'll be fine.
지리멸렬.
The first bit of the stream today was like me reading the mini before starting this.
멈추고 싶지 않아.
Bro, he single-handedly took him out. He's already dead, man. He's already dead.
나라도 이상자를 기억.
That's crazy. I'll separate the flesh from your bones. Santaro's gut suddenly began to expand. Is anti-inflation?
전부 고막아라.
Hold your breaths. Suddenly, a large figure leaped out of the dark and slammed what looked like a stake into Santaro's gut. This smell most foul. I think I'm about to pass out.
쓰레기가 붙는
A scent of
듯한
potently
향이 뿌려.
fetid refuse lingers. Oh my god. Some sinners drop to the floor while the others gag profusely. Clearly, this was a rather painful experience for all. This gas does not appear to be toxic, however, its scent seems to evoke a rather extreme level of discomfort.
쪽의 거인을 쓰러뜨렸지만
So you've defeated a northern giant, yet you don't seem to know the proper procedure for what to do afterward. Are you hunters from the city?
처리 방법?
Proper
쪽의
procedure?
거인은 죽기
Immediately
직전
before death, a northern giant's body fills with nauseous gas before exploding in a rain of acid.
일으켜.
The man who staked Santa's gut explained as he approached us.
이 가스가 산성 체그로 변하기
You have to
전에
puncture a hole in its gut to let out the gas before its internal organs condense it into acidic fluid. Allowing it to cause a chain reaction could complicate things. Yeah, we'll read all the minis. It's just deciding on like when the better timing for that
완벽히
is.
수행되었지
You know.
않은가. 하지만 아직 기약은 없구려. 그렇다면
이거 냄새 더럽게 안 빠지네. 저건 또 누구야?
The stench won't come off. Who's that now? Mr. Domino. Crayon, who'd been holding her breath with her fingers over her nostrils, ran up to the large man and hugged him. At least you're safe, Crayon. That's good. After stumbling for a moment due to stench most likely, Otis briefly gasped for air before approaching Domino. Hey, you identify yourself.
구름 마을의 괴물
Name's Domino. I'm a monster hunter from Cloud Town. I don't suppose I can call it a town anymore now that it's just me and Crayon that's left.
마을이라 부를 수도 없겠고.
Okay.
조심하시오.
Relax. I wouldn't even think of hunting any of you or hurting any of you. You're the hunter that the girl mentioned. Otis relaxed upon Domino's confirmation. She leaned on a wall and looked to the floor in relief. Normally, around this time of year, these monsters would have gone further north to a different village. So I was on an expedition to help them out. Looks like they decided to switch things up this time around. When I returned, they'd already finished their raid on our village and left. Damn it. They used to be predictable, attacking only right before Christmas.
이런 일이 빈번한
Do
것인가?
these tragedies happen often?
도시는 몰라도
Though I can't speak for the city, I can say that this is a common occurrence in the outskirts. It's a hellish place to live.
괴물 천지.
If you can even call this living. Survival alone is a miracle out here.
이런
Are there a lot more places out here like this?
많은
Like
건가요?
this mockery of a gift factory?
이것과 비슷한 걸 본 적.
No, I can't say I've seen a factory like this anywhere else, but I can tell you one thing.
외곽에서의 다른 일들에
Compared to
비하면
some worse things that could have happened,
아주
this tragedy was
심하지
nothing.
않다고.
That's the natural order of things in the outskirts.
도시였다면
I do wonder sometimes if we were in the city, no matter how bad it gets there, it must be better than this living hell. There was no easy contemplation to answer. The outskirts must be a hellish place to live, if what he's told me is anything to go by, but the city they admire so much isn't much of a warm place itself. From what I've seen in my journey so far, at least.
그러다면 함께 도시로 가는 것은
Then accompany us
어떤가?
back to the city. We were on our... Don Quixote stopped herself, realizing that every other sinner was giving her a look of disapproval. Thank you for your kind words, at least. I wish it were that easy. If I could at least let this child enter the city somehow, just like that. But the city has no place to spare for this child. Not even a small corner of it.
도시의 벽을 넘더라도
Even if you're to somehow make it past the city's walls, there are countless variations of paperwork and procedure you must overcome before you can live the kind of life you desire. And what would people like us even do with such paperwork? And where would we find them out there? We've not studied or worked to find a job in the city as some youths or other villages do.
아저씨.
Mister. There was an uncomfortable silence. Domino cleared his throat and continued. I must still extend my gratitude for keeping the girl safe until my arrival.
좋은 감사 방법이 있긴.
I know a good way to extend your gratitude.
반짝거리고.
Maybe you can extend us a nice pouch of shiny and jangling bag of... Rodian's eyes were twinkling. The lingering stench made it difficult for her to speak, but she was determined to make her point. Something shiny and jangling? Sure, maybe I can give you a tour of some antique items I keep at home. Precious items salvaged from the locomotive tracks of the outskirts. That's something you'll see every day in the city, I'm sure.
외곽의 수집품이라면
Items from the outskirts. That tour alone could be worth much more than just pure cash. Faust, there's still a different chance that the door we entered through might just shut behind us, right?
그렇습니다.
Indeed. In fact, it is unclear whether the door is still open. I recommend a quick return to the bus now that our two primary objectives have been secured. So she says.
제가 감히 의견을 내자면
If you would permit me to speak my mind, Executive Manager, even if this is not the Great Lake, the outskirts is an extremely perilous place. This curiosity cannot be a reason for us to risk getting stranded in this environment. Looks like you've got to hurry back. Well then, catch. Domino tossed a carved wooden doll in my direction.
위험한 것은 아닌 모양입니다.
Does not appear to be anything dangerous. Let us inspect it further after we return. We mustn't dally any longer than we have to. Some sinners had passed out and had to be carried by others. Most could not stop gagging at the stench, but we still made our way back to the door.
열려 있어.
The door has remained open. We made it back to the safety of Mephistopheles. Sometime later.
우린 냄새.
Boo. Stinky. Karen, evacuate. Evacuate. Karen quickly made her escape to the decks. And Virgilius greeted us in their cabins with a terrifying gaze. Looks like everyone's had quite the adventure, covered in blood and guts, and with a disgusting stench to boot. Manager, I can't hear you anyway. So just reply to my query with a nod or a shake. Your replies better match up with my expectations, of course. I have but one question. Was it you who made the call? I hesitated for a moment before nodding affirmatively. I might get reprimanded, or maybe he has worse things in mind for me, but it was I who decided to go along with their plan. This would not have happened without my authorization. Good. Then my questioning is over. Huh? I will leave it to you to deal with this mess. You may rest afterward, and please do something about this foul stench. Well then. With that, Virgilius disappeared into the back door once again. That's unexpected. I thought my time had finally come.
잘된 건 아니겠는가?
Be glad. The best consultation is a consultation not had indeed.
항상 좋네. 그보다
Alas, behold, one and all. I don't know when she had the time to pick it up in all that chaos, but Don Quixote managed to haul a huge sack of gifts back to Mephistopheles.
그 난장판 속에서 또 뭘
You
집어온
picked that
거야?
up from all that mess?
그 못된 놈들이
I have laid
정성으로
claim
꾸며놓은
upon the evil gnome's
장식들
trinkets.
그 집념.
That's some real commitment. What's all that
말이오.
for?
몰라서 묻는 것인가?
Art thou truly unaware of mine intentions? 'Tis for adorning our ship with Christmas decorations.
벌써요?
Wait, now? But we're still like 3 months away from Christmas.
3개월은 넘게 남았는데.
Actually, kind of close. We're 4 months away from Christmas. That's kind of close. Agreed.
괜히
Let
누군가의
us not
상처를 들쑤셔서
risk peeling old
사기를 꺾는
wounds.
행위는
To lower the morale of our company. That's the passage of time is fucked up. Oh my god. 2026 is halfway over. More than halfway. Oh, brother. It's like almost 2/3 over.
괜찮아요.
It's okay.
괜찮아지고 있어요.
It's been getting better with time, little by little.
다들 성장하는 법이니까요.
We can all grow beyond it eventually.
훌륭하오.
Marvelous.
그런 의미에서
Then this appears to be an occasion most fit for a
파리를 즐겨보는 것이 어떤가?
party, then. What say you?
그런 걸 하려고
Don't tell me you went through all that trouble for some party decorations.
단테의 설명대로라면
According to Dante's explanations, the incident was spurred on by Heathcliff's need for an outfit. Heathcliff has been silently brooding in his seat with his face buried in his palms, out of shame, most likely. Verily, verily, yet that very costume we had sought was worn by none other than the monstrous giant. I don't suppose it would fit Sir Heathcliff anyhow.
없어.
Got it.
어차피 내가 생각해.
It wasn't the kind of look I was going for anyway.
히스. 그러니까
What I say,
육지에
Heath.
가면 우리가 다
We'll help you out as soon as we land, okay?
또 옷인데.
The outfit's one thing, yeah, but
지나쳐온 헤어 쿠폰을
speaking of the port ship we
하고서는
sailed
말하는
past,
것인가?
the port ship on which the hair salon that printed those hair coupons conducts their business.
경로가 달라.
The coupons could not be used as the port ship was not on our charted route. That's cool that the stolen coupon like makes sense.
머리는 제가 만져드릴게요. 누나나 동생들 머리를 해준 적이 많거든요.
Leave it to me to style your hair. I've done my sisters and younger siblings' hair pretty often.
여기에 얼마나 더 떠 있을 줄 알고.
We don't know how long we'll be floating on this damn lake anyway. Besides,
난 애초에 뭐가
I don't know how to
좋은지를
dress
모른단
myself
말이야.
proper. I was going to attempt the trial and error method.
애초에
Okay, but can you at least tell us what it is that Virgilius gave you? Just so that we know what exactly you're so anxious about?
될 때는 돼야지.
Saw that. After a deep, heavy sigh, Heathcliff produced a letter.
그 전달받은 물건이라는
Is this
게
the something
이거야?
Virgilius gave you?
아, 이 편지봉투
I remember.
저희도 썼던
My
적이
family's
있어요.
used to this
굉장히
envelope before.
고급스러운 종이로
It's made from really expensive
제품도
paper,
얼마나
made
좋은
only in limited quantities at a time. It's quite a luxurious envelope.
읽어봐도 되는 거야?
Can we read it, Hugh?
그래. 뭐
Sure,
대단한
it's nothing
것이
impressive.
있는
그럼
And Dante, why don't you read it out loud for the rest of us? Sure. It was written in a beautiful series of cursive handwriting, drawn to an almost calligraphic perfection. I began reading. From Wuthering Heights. We cordially extend you, honored guest, an invitation to the something. What's this here? Somebody colored over this part of the letter? Well, I'll keep reading. Venue, Wuthering Heights, T Corp, Nest. Should you accept our invitation, please convene at the designated location by 4 in the afternoon of the 24th with the letter on your person. Please honor this occasion with your presence. With great respect, Nelly. And down here's a postscript. It's written in a different handwriting from the rest of the letter. Postscript. You have to be here, Heath. I'll be waiting, Kathy. We had no way to tell what kind of occasion it was on account of it being colored over, but clearly the rest of the letter's contents had stoked the fire of passion at Heathcliff's heart once again.
그러니까
So,
캐시라는 사람한테
you gotta look fashionable and classy for this Kathy person, right?
그것도
Oh yeah, but there's more to it than
조용.
right now.
기다리기 힘들어.
Now I can clearly see why you were so impatient, Heath.
뭐야?
Why are you looking at me like that?
복루 선생.
I'll leave it up to you to style his hair, Master Hairdresser Honglu. I wouldn't call myself a master.
잠깐. 어디로 끌고 가는 거야? 아,
로저 씨 손님이 꽤 세시더라고요.
Yeah, Rhoda's got quite the grip strength. Sorry. You won't free yourself from her anytime soon. I'm fucked. The two sinners, practically hauling Heathcliff by his arms, disappeared into the back door. What's up with this game and gripping? What Ryoshu IDs do you have? I can show them after this, real quick. Now Heathcliff's fate was sealed to be mannequin to a now motivated and unbearably bored Rhodia's various experimentations. I can hang this trinket here, and Don Quixote began humming a song, a carol perhaps, as she placed the various trinkets around the bus. I decided to go out to the deck for some air. I'm a child, bro. I have a degenerate sense of humor. That's just it. I leaned on the railing and I leaned on the railing and dug through my pockets. The wooden doll domino the hunter gave me just as we hurriedly left. I held it and the music and felt its texture under my fingers. Like a cello or something? My eyes looked into the distance, toward where the outskirts lie. I like cellos, if it is a cello. I thought for a moment about the gnomes, the giants, and the things Domino told me. I'm liking the feel of this scene a lot. Wait. Slight woodwinds. It's like unnerving. Or not outright creepy, but just kind of an oppressive atmosphere for the song. Man, one of these days I'm gonna do like a OST reaction to Limbus Company, just to revisit all the songs and everything. Because to most of them I don't pay too much attention, you know? But sometimes it kind of grabs me. And I'm like, ooh. I'm doing alright. Canto 5 was awesome. Canto 5 was the best that the game had to offer, especially the dungeon. Well, I like the parts before the dungeon as well, actually, but I was surprised by the dungeon, for sure. I suppose there are people with stories in the outskirts too. Stories different from those of the city. Faust approached from behind and stood next to me. I wasn't sure how much of what I said she heard.
별을 하나씩 따라가다 보면
Follow the stars,
언젠가 알게
Dante.
될 겁니다,
Star
단테.
by star. Then, you will one day learn.
그러니 우선은 지금 눈앞에 있는
So for now,
별빛만
follow the
보겠죠.
closest star that shines before your eyes. Yeah. I have to focus on the stories of the city for now. I don't even know who I really am after all. Foreshadowing? Kinda? A joyous laughter and frustrated howls echoed out of the cabins. They must have finished dressing up Heathcliff. Why don't we go take a look at how Heathcliff is doing, Faust?
거절하기 어려운 제안이네요.
You make a rather tempting offer, Dante. Flirting? But the added colors to the bus's interior warmed my heart a little. Ah! I don't get to see it. I don't get to see it. Oh, this still counts as intervallo 3, I think, right? Yield my flesh to claim their bones. Okay, this is a very different vibe. Okay, I can show my Joshua IDs. Check it out. These are the ones I have. Oh yeah, true. Lunacy. Wait, but I'm not even gonna get all of it. Because, yeah, I don't have the fucking... The gnomes bested me, man. This is so stupid. I'm gonna have to do it again. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. No, I will not do supports. I will not do support. I will simply not have the lunacy for a while. That's fine. I'm in no rush. That's okay. I'll just wait. It's okay. I'm collecting lunacy for the next big Gamba stream. Hung Loon the banner? This? Oh yeah, yeah. They have the House of Spiders one. Or the 6th one? No, I'm not gonna look at IDs because I am doing like the series where I look at all the IDs in order. So I'm not gonna go out of my way to look at them from now on. So that it's like a first exposure type of thing. I already have a few Hung Lu IDs. Quite a few actually. I can Gamba, yeah, but I don't wanna. I'll do it, you know, at some point. I like doing polls, but I think it's more fun when, like, when I'll be able to do a bunch of polls in one stream, you know? So... we'll do it for whenever. Okay, let's do, since the next intervallo might take longer, let's try to do the minis and then we'll do this for next stream, right? Let's try to do the minis. I can do both of them. There's a fight? I can do both of these within the next like hour, right? This is green lights blinding our eyes and loud alarms rupturing our eardrums. I've gotten used to it by now. I've been wrestled from my refuge of sleep once again. Thanks to the alarm, sinners began waking up one by one from their naps. Walpurgis night has descended once again. Even amidst that chaos, Faust remained as calm as ever. She walked up to the helm and shut off the alarm. I thought it was supposed to be a really rare occurrence. Yes, it is a rare occurrence, but its frequency is not something we can reliably predict. Guess going back to sleep is out of the question now, so... there's a chance that it goes off next week too? The possibility is there, yes, yet I don't believe that it would happen so soon. It takes some time for Mephistopheles' engine to resonate. Faust, who was busily interfacing with the device while answering Rhoda's question, came to a sudden stop. What's up? Something wrong? Everything is under control. This is within the predictable range of variables for one such volatility. I merely paused to contemplate how I should explain this to you and the rest of the sinners, Dante, considering that this will be a new environment for all of you, that is. New environment. I looked at her curiously, but I did not voice my concerns. She was already walking toward the back door. Faust was not going to answer my question anyway. It is said that a picture is worth 1,000 words. In this case, a first-hand experience. Yep, knew it. Thus, our humdrum daily lives are spruced up once again. You know, it wasn't that long ago that you were scurrying all over the cabin, placing weird decorations everywhere. Don't tell me you're already tired of it. Forsooth, I believe that we've had more than enough celebration for that occasion. Dante, please lead the way. Question: do these come out like one by one, bit by bit? So like as this was coming out, Canto 5 happened, then the mini, like after an update, and then another update like sometime later was the Intervallo, and then another mini. Like, are all of them, or do the minis come out at the same time as Intervallos? Is it like tied to specific events? I mean, it is tied obviously to like Walpurgis, right? But I just wonder, did the Intervallo come out at the same time, or was it later still? The board sinners seem to find this new possibility of adventure somewhat exciting. They slowly get up from their seats with enthusiasm. We again made our way to the back door. Dante, the door on which this volatility occurred is in the direction of the dungeons. So we gotta head toward my room. Yes, please open the door. She did say something about the corridor changing depending on who opened the door. I walked across the corridor, trying to recall what Faust once told me. Nice, we're not going into the restricted zone this time. Unlike the other time we had to, while off duty, jump to the rescue of some dumbasses who declared to saunter in there despite the repeated warnings. Declared? What? I'll do it again, alright? Not the third time. Yeah, I'm saying. You've gone against the warning twice already. You are far from the most trustworthy sinner among us. Among us? I've done it only once, in case thou weren't aware. I'm starting to enjoy this raucousness among the sinners. Hoping that this camaraderie would last for a long, long time, I turned the handle and opened the door. Uh-huh. That door. Right. The door had transformed into an oddly familiar shape. This looks like one of those doors we saw back at one of the Lobotomy Corps branches. It is identical. It appears that different shapes are overlapping over the door, but all of them are of the same design. Correct. The overlapping shapes are more clear evidence that Walpurgis Night has returned. Opening now. The door creaks open and another corridor appears before us. This is another Lobotomy Corps branch, isn't it? The longer I look at it, the more familiar it becomes. This place definitely looks a lot like those Lobotomy Corps branches we've been to. Oh, smartass. If we could just pop open a door leading straight into one of them branches, why are we doing any of this tour bus business? Aren't we wasting time and effort out of here? There are numerous inaccuracies in your statement that must be corrected. I will tackle them in reverse order of your presentation. First, Walpurgis Night is an unpredictable event that not even I could predict. Base our entire operation on such an unstable element would be a plan most foolish. Suppose that's true. Yes, let's try to think a little more before we speak, okay? He scowled at Rhodia's remark, but soon grew dejected once he noticed that the other sinners were nodding in agreement. Well, I won't completely deny the possibility of pursuing that method. However, I must clarify that this is not a real Lobotomy Corps branch of the city, merely a result of Walpurgis Night's mutation of the corridor. Therefore, I can say with quite the certainty that this does not align with our current mission, which is to retrieve the golden bows from the branches existing in our current reality. Right. Will you stop it with your lecture when I apologize for speaking without thinking? As I've said previously, I won't completely deny the possibility of pursuing that method. Besides, there are more inaccuracies to be addressed. I didn't think there was anything more for her to correct, but Faust clearly seemed to think that there was another critical error. And without even flinching and wearing that serious expression, she looked into the distance. This is not one of the Lobotomy Corps branches. Not one of them? So this isn't a Lobotomy Corps facility? This is not a branch. We are at a Lobotomy Corps headquarters of the past. its point in time and the branch of possibility uncertain.
그럼 여기가
This is
부러진 날개가
the broken
되었다.
wing.
네.
Indeed.
이곳은
Ooh, new song.
과거의 지휘팀이 사용하던 복도입니다.
We find ourselves at control team hallway of the former L-Corp headquarters. I can sense the rising apprehension among the sinners. This is fun. Okay. Kinda glad I'm doing this. So this is where it happened. I don't remember it since it happened before my amnesia, but everyone in the city knows about that incident. The source of the blinding light that enveloped the city for days, which then sunk everyone into utter darkness for the next. That kind of reminds me of, there's an old anime / manga called Tagami Bachi, if you know about it. Letter B. It's quite good actually, but it had a similar incident with the artificial sun. I kind of want to reread it. But Faust appears unaffected by the general air of anxiety of those around her. Instead, she continues to look off into the distance, away from the sinners. Maybe it's because she doesn't care, or maybe what she already knows doesn't faze her. Are you waiting for something, Faust?
네.
I am. There's more to this volatility than the volatility phenomena we had experienced in the past.
아마도 곧
Speaking of anime, we're watching JoJo's in the Discord. Going through JoJo's for the first time. Pretty fun so far. I'm glad I'm watching anime again. It's been a minute since I've done that. I've missed it a lot, so. Before Faust finished, the lights of the corridor suddenly switched colors.
시작되었군요.
It has begun.
이게
What
무엇인가?
treachery is this?
설마
Is this what they call sight burial?
그 정도의 사건은
A different siren would play if an event of a magnitude requiring that level of response had occurred. What the hell is this? I'm really not liking the look of that red light.
옵니다.
They're here, ahead. I followed the tip of Faust's finger, which pointed toward the same direction she'd been looking at the entire time. A theme of unknown origin began to coalesce there. Is that a machine? And a bizarre machine of sorts appeared there.
시련입니다.
This is an ordeal. Color, green. Time, dawn. A menacing pile of scrap is coming this way. Everyone seemed to know that something like this was going to happen. They prepared for battle, warily eyeing the mysterious machine.
또 환상체냐?
That's an abnormality too. No, wait, it feels more like a catalum? I instinctively blurted out the immediate sense they gave off and looked to Faust. She'll know what to say. Instead of giving me an answer, however, Faust brandished the Zweihander and stepped forward.
저것을
We must
처리하도록
first
하죠.
suppress the entities. Dante, prepare the identity cards. Okay. The Dawn of Green. Okay, I could not read that.
유리한 환경이 되었네.
Who the fuck are you? Who are you? Suppression status 0 out of 30.
그려낸
낙인을 새겨드리죠.
이
개체들의
순간
체력이
다
많이 깎여 나갔어.
베어내
괴로워하는 게 느껴지지 않아?
돌아가기
이
싫다면
기세로 계속 나아가 보자.
나비가 날 실력을
Who is that?
공격은 좋았어.
Malkuth.
계속해보면 좋을 텐데.
베어낸 원망도 옅어지나 낮도 밤도 지워 숨이 닿도록 베어내
방금 했던 공격은 매우 효과적이었어. 하지만 아직
여기
부족해.
심장이
다음 공격은 더 잘할 수 있도록.
전반절이 됐기에
칼날 사출.
낮도 밤도 지워 숨이
Sure.
닿도록 베어내 이 순간이 닿도록
Yeah, I kind of, I think I will try playing Lobotomy Corporation at one point or another. Maybe. No promises, maybe. After I catch up with Limbus Company. Because I'm just curious.
이 싸움을
You know, I've never stuck with a management sim for that long.
망설이면
but I like the idea of them, you know?
실력을 잘 이용하지
돌아가기
못하셨습니다.
싫다면
It seems like the kind of thing I would be into. I don't know if it would be good stream content, because I feel like I would just... Like, either I would need to lock in and, you know, pay a lot of attention and not, you know, talk a lot. So it would be bad content. Or I would yap through it and not really think about it enough and just fail over and over, you know? Just fuck up.
그대는 어디까지 가고 있을지.
And neither of those options seem like it would be good. So, I don't know. I'll have to try it for like a stream and see how I feel about it.
여기 심장이 잠깐 좀.
But yeah, I don't know anything about it, which I kind of like. So, I don't know. Should I try
여기 심장.
Lobotomy Corporation?
나쁘진 않은 실력을 잘 이용하지 못하셨을 뿐.
I don't know if people like, you know, streams or videos of that game. So I don't know if it would be worth it.
칼날 사출.
So.
목을 내놓으시죠.
여기 심장.
I'll think about it. I'll think about it. I definitely won't do it until I'm caught up, though. I think like once we run out of Limbus Company to stream, that's when I might stream Lobotomy Corp for like one time. Don't think the gameplay is fun to watch. It might be like something that I could play in my own time or something if I enjoy the gameplay a lot. So eventually we managed to reduce the machines to a pile of scrap metal. Frau Faust, there's got to be a reason we decided to stand our ground and fight instead of shutting the door on them, right? Yes, we stand to gain more reward by defeating them than by fleeing. Reward?
이것들은
What were the nature of these entities? Yisang stood next to Faust and began to muse alongside her. They're entities that used to appear in Lobotomy Corp headquarters. Entities similar to, yet different from abnormalities. Lobotomy Corp headquarters used to call them ordeals.
시련. 그런가.
Ordeals, I see. Then was this corridor, which is eventually, or evidently not a containment unit, also utilized to contain certain entities as well?
이 괴물들은 특정 시기에 갑작스럽게 나타나는 성질을 갖고 있었습니다.
These monsters have a tendency to spontaneously appear during certain periods. Monsters, like monsters of the outskirts?
그렇게 보일 수도.
I suppose that is one way of looking at it. However, that comparison may grow increasingly inaccurate as we delve further into the technicalities. All I can share with you is that you will eventually come to know more of it, Dante. Like the nocturnal march of 100 demons. I like it. Hey, I know about that. Because of an anime, Nurihon no Mago. I watched that when I was a kid. I know lore. I know real life lore. Dante, there's something I must inform you. There's a high chance of these ordeals or encounters of similar intensity appearing from these volatilities. I recommend challenging every occurrence of these encounters. So she says, guys, I really don't like this lighting. I welcome that proposition. There's two birds with one stone indeed. We may find entertainment as we train ourselves to be better. Except for Faust and Yisang, who were quietly exchanging their observations, each center began rowdily sharing their impressions. I guess that's more reasonable proposition than let's just doze off in the bus until we find land. Hopefully, Faust or Yisang will one day find the time to explain their findings to me. Right, we have to get moving. I approached the sinners to get us going. Okay.
완벽하게 수행되었지 않은가.
What the hell is that?
하지만
Ordeals suppressed. Okay.
아직 기약은 없구려.
I didn't get anything from it. I didn't get shit. Okay. Warning, warning. Land ahoy. Karen, who had been quietly holding the helm for a while, suddenly spoke up. As if on cue, everyone in the cabin simultaneously jumped up from their seats. The crew's joy at the end of this long journey was palpable. Finally, is it over? My eyes well with tears of relief. If they ever let us go on vacation, remind me to preclude any seafaring options. I think I've had enough of the Great Lake for one lifetime. Some sinners began to visibly relax with the realization that the long lake voyage had finally come to an end. Others rushed to the windows as if they were expecting anything to have changed while we were away from the shores. You guys are being so overdramatic. Back in my sailor days, when I was on a boat, setting sail in the Great Lake meant that you would have to spend at least 3 years at the treacherous sea out of any landsman's sight. Right. I think I've heard that exact sentence a few dozen times by now, so... Agreed. You have made your point, Ishmael. Found it difficult to tolerate when you began sharing that story for the 4th time. You guys were the ones who complained that no one had any fun stories to tell. Just as we were exchanging a few meaningless jabs at each other... Mephistopheles suddenly jerked violently. As though something had exploded. Dude, I'm a 5-year-old. Of course, we were all promptly thrown about the bus boat like ragdolls. On account of all the jerking. Is everyone okay? Can this bloody bus come to a stop for smooth stop for once? Bus? Heathcliff was right. I took a quick look around and realized that the cabins had transformed back to the shape of the bus we'd grown used to. Karen hit the transformation button. Click, clack. Karen, can you give us a warning for once? At least turn a signal or something. A turn signal. Ugh. Bus boat doesn't have turn signals. Too bad, bug guy. I thought there was going to be some complicated procedure to transform it back to the bus. I guess it just happens with the click of a button, huh? I thought we'd have to stop by a workshop or Boatworks office again. One of many functions of Mephistopheles is that it can remember every form of or property it once possessed. That's a weird thing to add. Are we going to be on a plane at one point? Therefore, it follows that once it takes a certain form, it can revert to it or any of its previous forms at any time. Don't think planes exist in the city? Fucking how? Really? There's no way they have like immortality healing potions and fucking like with the technology that we've seen so far. The lack of a plane is crazy to me. There's no way there's no planes. There's no way. That's insane. This states planes don't exist. That's so interesting. Okay. Interesting. Anyways, we're finally back on land. Aren't you glad, Heathcliff? You've been so looking forward to this. Heathcliff's face lit up for a brief second before a vortex of complicated feelings overcame him. Then, room lass, are we at Corp? Heathcliff was talking to Charon, but she did not reply. Maybe it was because he didn't call her by her name, or maybe it was that she didn't really know where we were either. She always drives wherever her whims take her, after all. The monochromatic grey hue is reminiscent of that place indeed, yet there is a disparity. Yeah, I suppose it was a different monochromatic hue than whatever this is. T-Corp, District 20. I've never been there myself, but I've tangentially experienced it via Yisang's Fathoms of Ego. Yeah, that place was supposed to take our colors away, wasn't it? Have some patience, Heathcliff. We are still in the back streets. We are getting quite close to the place you know so well, aren't we? Vergilius, you had no reason to provoke him like that.
둥지로 바로 진입하지 않고
Is there a reason we're going through the back streets instead of heading straight to the nest? Why are we doing this?
나도 궁금하군.
The back streets roads are rife with danger and winding, roundabout paths. This carries an unnecessary risk, does it not?
둥지에서 둥지로 직접 넘어가는
I would also like to highlight that the immigration process is significantly more lenient towards those who are migrating from one nest to a nest than it is when migrating from the back streets to nest territory. Ishmael's question to Vergilius had opened a whole new floodgate of questions from other sinners. Looks like you've all grown rather chatty since we first met. You must know that it won't change how I choose to answer your questions. Ask me all you want, but I will not spare the time to give you a comprehensive explanation for your convenience. This guy sucks. This guy sucks. This guy sucks. Bro, I hate Vergilius. Actually. I hate this guy.
방향에 대해
What's wrong with asking for explanation if we're being led through a questionable path? Literally.
길잡이의 일은
It is your job as our guide to tell us where to go, isn't it?
설마
Don't tell me that we haven't been authorized to enter T-Corp's nest yet. And here I thought Limbus Company was a proper business.
회사가?
Talk your shit? She's so right, by the way. She's actually so right.
아무리 신생
Sure, it's relatively new, but I thought we had a rather substantial backing.
물론
We can receive proper authorization to enter most nests should we request it. Then why? It's the company's will. Vergilius silenced the entire hubbub of the bus with a short but low growl. My job as your guide is to plan a path forward, a path toward the destination as requested by the company. Selecting this path was also a part of accommodating that request, so please know your place and shut your mouth. Then just say it. Like, you have to like vague post and not explain anything and then get mad at people when they're confused and they're asking questions. Shut the fuck up. This guy sucks. He actually sucks. Perhaps the commotion was getting to him. I could tell that Vergilius was rubbing his ear out of frustration. Entirely your fault, by the way, about the commotion.
그런 거면
If that's the case. While doubt was still apparent on Ishmael's face, she nodded affirmatively. She was acknowledging that there was little we could do about the orders from the company itself. Alarms?
저 경보.
That alarm again. Is someone listening in on us or something? That was one conveniently timed alarm, don't you think?
그럴 리는 없을 것 같네.
That is unlikely. Dante? Like always, Faust looked into the bus terminal before giving me a look that I've come to realize, or recognize. Another volatility to take care of. Yes, it is.
또야?
Another one? Didn't we just wrap up a backdoor volatility? I think I know what this is. First were the mirror dungeons and the excavation dungeons, so it's gotta be. Faust considers her Gregor's growing aptitude for deductions to be a positive development. It's the refractory railway, isn't it? That I can't go on. That's so sad. The bus soon fills with the sinner's exasperated sighs. Saw it. That bloody subway tracks again. Railways really wear me out every time we enter.
저번엔 2호선
Well, since the last one was called Line 2, is this going to be Line 3?
확률이 높죠.
That is likely, yes, though we cannot say for certain before observing it ourselves. Dante? I know. Going through the refraction railway takes a lot out of me too. So far, each refraction railway has had new and different patterns, and enemies we faced in there were all much more powerful than any other enemies we faced before, but it's also true that I see a noticeable improvement in most sinners' combat prowess once we had a run through the railway, not to mention the copious amount of rewards that I don't get to have because I am late. the game. I don't remember exactly when it was, but Faust once took time to explain the railway's abnormalities to me. That the abnormalities we battle in the railways are probably not the same ones that exist in the world that we live in. So it's not like we'll be able to capture them and bring them back, but they're perfect for practice just in case we run into their real versions. Well, whichever is the case, going through the railway will be a net positive for us, so let's get going then. I took a quick glance at the sinners, then opened the door to the back door. The door to the back door. The door. Okay, so this, we're gonna be going to this back door thing instead of the Canto, I guess. Okay, maybe, potentially, perhaps. Why is the sky so long? Okay, but that's for next stream. Next stream, we're doing this. And the dungeon from it and everything leading up to Canto 6. Oh my god. And hopefully this time around I'll actually look at Don Quixote's IDs. Maybe even Roshu's if I have the time. Would be nice, would be nice. My beloved. Actually, two of my favorite characters back to back. Not like my two favorite. I like Yi-Sang quite a lot. I think Faust has kind of fallen in the rankings for characters I like a little bit, slightly. So right now it's like Roshu, then Yi-Sang, then Don Quixote, and Ishmael are kind of on this similar level to me. Yeah. Yeah. Sinclair is a little bit... He's falling off a little bit because he's not showing off as strong of a personality as I was hoping. I feel like when he's not given that much attention, he kind of just falls back on being like the meek, kind of inexperienced guy of the group. You know what I mean? But yeah. Like Faust is definitely one of the vague posters, but somehow I forgive her a little bit more than Virgilius, that's for sure. Okay, next week. Intervallo again. Be there or be square. And hopefully I'll get out like at least one video before then, right? At least one. Okay. That was fun actually. I expected worse because I was told to expect worse. But this was not that bad at all. Like, it was kind of annoying fighting with only 2 units that I like that are not good that I have. But in general, this was like pretty alright. I think the thing that saved it for me a bit or made it more interesting is that it was in the outskirts, right? Because I'm super interested in that whole aspect of the world. So visiting the outskirts like this is kind of was a little bit interesting, yeah. Curious to find out more about it in the future. I honestly didn't expect to get more of it so soon. I thought that like it would keep cropping up a little bit here and there, and then, you know, we would get more and more with time, but, you know, I didn't expect us to literally end up on the outskirts. Granted, we were kind of trapped in this like facility. We didn't go anywhere, really, but still, pretty fun. Okay. See y'all for see y'all for more Limbus next week. Yeah. Man, I got another stream tomorrow for the tournament. Ugh. I'm a little nervous, but we'll see how it goes. Okay. Have a good one. See y'all. Bye bye.